Episode 6, the AskWoodford podcast. We are back, guys. Before we start, we love you guys watching this podcast. If you want to see more, follow our Insta page, Woodford SSC. Go on our website, woodfordssc.com. If you want to see more about that, join the program. And again, on YouTube, Ask Woodford, Christian Woodford's page. And Spotify, just Ask Woodford. Keep learning, keep loving it, keep enjoying it. Guys, this is going to be the biggest podcast.
Hold on, wait, stop. Podcast. Are we on Spotify?
Yeah, we are. Wait, we're on Spotify.
I don't even know we're on Spotify. Hey. I don't even know we're on Spotify. Who put us on Spotify?
Karen.
She's going to try and get us on video. Video on Spotify. So
we're on Spotify, bro.
Oh, okay.
On Spotify, Ask Woodford.
Anyway,
this is going to be the best and greatest podcast,
Fuck
right?
me, I didn't even... Oh, shit!
Hey, we said we're not going to swear too much. Hey, look. That's okay. We're going to let it out. Mistakes at the start, we learn from it.
That's one.
Just swear, it's all right.
Every time I swear, I'll give $10 to the charity of anyone's choice, all right?
All right, you just guys got to let us know which
there's
one.
$30 already.
Nice.
Now.
Fuck 40.
Greatest, biggest, awesomest podcast, right? We have 4 of us here. Mr. Borzillo, Mr. Christian Woodford, and the great man, Adam Gotsis. Men, how are we all?
Adam.
Appreciate it, boys.
What a legend.
Appreciate you guys having me, man. It's awesome.
No, awesome, man. Well, look, there's so many people who know you. There's so many people who don't. Just give us a rundown. Who you are, what you do, a little bit about your story, man.
Yeah, so, Adam Gotsis, currently defensive end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, 7 years in the league now. And
Before, just for everyone out there, because they probably would have no idea, American football.
Yeah, American football.
Just so we know.
NFL.
Just so they know, because people will be like...
Which AFL team's that?
They'll be like, who's he play for? And look at his build. So, you either think rugby or football, American football.
Yeah, so, typical Aussie kid growing up, man. I grew up in Abbotsford, Victoria.
Awesome.
Bunch of siblings, brothers, sisters. Grew up loving sport, played everything growing up and fell in love with American football, kind of stumbled across it. We'll get into that a little bit. And it's just been a whirlwind the last couple of years. And, from going over, and I went to college at Georgia Tech and then made it to the NFL, and it's just been crazy journey, man. Crazy journey, but yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I've known, I heard of Adam probably about... When I went to Maryland, I heard about this kid from Australia who's probably going to... Yeah. And first time I met you, you're the nicest guy. Like, you'd think you're like a freak player, and you're like the nicest guy to me. I still remember. I told you this. Normally what happens in Australia, it's like a big fish, small pond. A lot of assholes, but like that. People like think they're better than everyone. And Adam, you were like, honestly, the nicest guy. And you haven't changed at all. Like, I'm being serious. Fame hasn't got to your head. Money hasn't got to your head. That's respect to you, because what I've seen you grow and develop, even just training you the last few days has been unbelievable, because, I mean, I know you got a lot out of it from that, but just your professionalism and how much you love the game just comes across. Just quickly talk about how you got to Georgia Tech, because it's a good story. Explain to everyone out there, because there might be the next Adam Gotsis out there who wants to...
The start of the journey.
Yeah, the start of the journey. So just explain a bit about that.
For starters, I didn't do it by myself. I got to take my hat off to, firstly, my mum. Played a huge role in, my sport and everything from a young age. It wasn't only me, but she was driving around my brother, my 3 sisters, all over Victoria, man. Saturdays would leave the house at 9 a.m., wouldn't get back till 6:30.
Yeah.
And she's not watching any of us play. She's just dropping us off, picking us up, and she's all over Victoria. And that was Saturdays. Sundays, me and my brother played footy, so I'm down at one end, out in Bundoora. He's on the other side of town, so she's dropping me off, dropping him off, coming to pick me up.
Is he older or younger?
Older, so...
How much older?
About 4 years.
4 years.
He was like in the afternoons, I was in the mornings.
Okay.
So it was like one to the other. So, I take my hat off to her. She was absolute legend with all of this. And, even my dad was working full-time, 6-7 days a week to support the family, while my mum's part-time working, taking care of the kids, the household. So... hats off to mum. And then a bunch of people that have just been in my corner from day one. There's a handful. Paul Manera, John Layton, a bunch of the guys down at the Monash Warriors, which is the local club I played for. All supported me and helped me through this journey. But to get a bit more into it, I was a bloke that was playing, junior footy like your typical Aussie, growing up. And I was excelling at it pretty well. You know, was down at Oakley Chargers for a year, and then AFL kind of developed into a different game. So, you know, for me, it was like, wasn't really suiting my body type, my size, my skill assets that I had. So, you know, me and Mum were just kind of looking on the internet for local rugby clubs. I thought rugby might be the answer. Stumbled across a flyer for American football, and we were like, oh, we'll go check it out.
How old were you when you saw this flyer?
I think I was about 15 at the time. So my brother was about 19, and Gridiron Victoria's, the way it's set up is, you know, there's a junior comp and a senior comp, and the junior comp was 14 to 19, senior comp was 19 and above. So Mum saw that me and my brother played a bit of Madden on video games, things like that. So she's like, what do you think about this? And
so was your mum, you're getting across that your mum really was such a big, you know, help in your career.
Yeah.
She pushed you, you know, she said, look, try this, and she'd drive you. Am I right in saying that?
100%, man.
You're obviously very close with her.
Yeah, whether it was basketball, football, whatever sport I picked
You
up.
played basketball too?
Yeah, I played basketball too.
So football, basketball.
Cricket.
Oh, so you played everything.
Everything. I was playing everything. And Mum was taking me to all this stuff, all the practices.
What about,
everything.
and your siblings as well, like your brother and your sisters, they all play sport?
Yeah, my brother was playing football, basketball, cricket.
And your sisters?
My sisters were playing basketball, netball.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay, shit.
all the practices throughout the week,
Shit.
Mum's driving us to a
So
mall.
your mum was driving. Oh, God damn it.
Or we're catching public transport, but Mum's picking us up.
Yeah.
So,
What a woman.
what a woman.
Yeah.
What a woman.
What a woman.
Jesus.
But yeah, so we find this flyer and we drive down there. It's at Monash University.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time we went down there, I'm sitting there in the car and there's a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds walking down there. I'm sitting there at 15 and these guys got beards and pretty big dudes. And I'm sitting there like, I'm not getting out the car. I'm like, Mum, I'm not getting out the car. My brother was there. He was kind of half in, half out. Wasn't sure if he wanted to do it.
How old is he at the time?
He
19?
was turning 19.
Yeah.
So he would have fit in the juniors, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to F it. I'm not going to cuss. But he jumped out and he's like, let's go.
So was your you got to thank your brother.
I do. I thank my brother a bunch.
If your
as well.
okay, let's say for example, sliding doors. If your brother said, "Oh, nah, I'm not going," would you have gone?
Nah.
Jesus, you need to thank your brother, bro.
I do.
So your brother
All the
said,
time.
"I'm going," and you're just like, "Oh, because my brother, I'll go with him."
And I felt
More comfortable.
more comfortable. I felt like, all right, there's someone there I can talk to. Plus, he was with the older guys. The older guys didn't really pick on me as much. I felt like...
Why would they pick on you? You're huge, bro. Were you big?
Being one of the younger dudes, you know, you kind of get put in some of those positions where the older guys can kind of pick on you a bit in terms of like the physicality.
Your brother
of the
was
game.
there. He was fine, yeah.
So my brother was there and I was like, it was good. You know, we're both learning the game at the same rate and stuff.
Yeah,
And my first year, man, was rough. You know, being a young 15-year-old in a competition with 19-year-olds. These guys are just developed. You know, they're young men. You know, they've obviously been in the gym, stuff like that.
Yeah, got him. Got him.
Yeah, but, I got $10. I'll match
That's
it. I'll
50.
match it.
There we go.
But yeah, we ended up heading down there, man, and I just fell in love with the game. I think the first ever football game I watched, my brother downloaded, it was Texas versus USC, national championship, Vince Young. Watched that, and I just fell in love with the game after that. And then ever since then, it just kind of took off, you know. I felt like being around those older guys as a 15-year-old playing against 19-year-olds, I kind of developed into, felt like an older guy quicker and forced me to mature a lot quicker. I couldn't be, you know, this little 15-year-old doing all this bullshit. It was, you know, let me mature a bit and just fell in love with the game, man. And then after about 2 years of playing, I ended up making the state team. My brother made the Victorian team as well. So I was kind of following his footsteps in football to begin with. You know, he played against a couple of other big name Aussie guys that ended up getting to the league and stuff. But I was just following his footsteps, and he was a great role model to me in all his sports. So after that, and then I ran into a couple of those guys I mentioned earlier, Paul Manera, John Layton. So ran into Paul Manera when I was about 16. We played in this.
Just for everyone out there, just Paul Manera is he's New South Wales, isn't he?
Yeah, New South Wales.
But he's like a very well regarded coach.
Yeah, worked with Gridiron Australia. He actually played at Hawaii for
that's right, Hawaii.
Years. Got recruited by Hawaii.
That's right.
From Australia.
Yeah.
So he kind of understood the process to get into a college and had a bunch of connections over there in the States.
Did you reach out to Paul or he like?
Yeah, so initially I didn't know Paul. One of my teammates was playing in this tournament against a bunch of American kids that Paul was hosting.
Yeah.
Basically his organization was hosting this tournament, invites a bunch of high school kids, D1 recruits, guys that are...
Didn't you get invited?
I didn't get invited. He invited another guy and then that guy had mentioned it to me that he was going there. So I reached out to Paul and was like, hey man, I'm really interested in coming up there. I don't think Paul knew who I was at that point because I was just in the local competition in Victoria.
Yeah. But I still remember seeing a photo of you playing against like these high level, it was like a world team.
Yeah, that was a bit later down the track.
Okay, sorry. I thought that was it. Yeah. Okay, no.
Yeah, but...
what were you, 17 at this point?
Yeah, I was about 16 playing in this tournament here in Australia. I was up in the Gold Coast and there was a bunch of high school kids and they were about 17, 18. So they were going into their senior year of high school.
Yeah.
I think it was just after they had finished their senior year of high school. So this was the last game a lot of these guys were going to play, these American guys.
Yep.
And then the ones that had offers were going to go to college. The ones that didn't, they were pretty much done.
Yep.
So I got a chance to kind of mingle with those guys, play against those guys, and I did pretty well. So Paul then kind of mentored me, I'd say, from that point onwards.
Did you know John beforehand?
I didn't know John at this point.
Okay, so this is not John, this is just Paul. Okay, gotcha.
So then Paul kind of put the bug in my ear of, if you're doing this against these guys, you should really consider, potential of going over to the States and giving it a shot, because what's the worst that can happen? You get a 4-year degree at a prestigious university, and then whether you make it to the next level or not, it's going to open doors for you.
Yeah.
So, I kind of listened to him. I saw the type of guy he was and what he had been through as an adult now and what he was giving back to the sport, and I really enjoyed that. And I did go under his wing as a bit of him as my mentor and him kind of paving the way for me a bit. So he then kind of put me in a bunch of different positions. I played for the junior Australian team.
Before we go on, I just want to ask you a question because I know how close you are with your mum.
Yeah.
Do you tell your mum that? What was your mum's reaction?
Yeah, she was all for it, man.
The reason why I'm saying that because you're Greek.
Yeah.
He's Greek.
Yeah.
He's a mama's boy. Yeah. You're a mama's boy.
Greek? Far out. I didn't even know that.
How do you know this? Of course he's Greek. Look at him,
man.
Anyway, the reason why I know that is because all my mates, because I can imagine, it's how you talk about your mum. I just love how you talk about your mum because you can just see it. And Chris is the same with his mum. I'm not saying I don't love Anita. I love your mum. But there's something about the dynamic, Yeah. So telling her that her baby boy's going to leave for 4 years, well, she was obviously excited. But do you understand what I'm saying?
My mum was just solid, man.
Supportive.
And I think the first time, I was about 16, 17 at that point, just after that tournament. I ended up making the junior Australian team for American football. And we went over to American Samoa and played in a tournament over there.
That's right.
And then from that point, Mum was like, okay, this is something serious. This guy cares about. She can see the passion in it. She can see that I'm having success in this sport. And she's willing to push me to keep having that success.
How'd you go performing there when you were?
Yeah, I did really well, man. I hadn't been a captain of a team or anything and then made the Australian team and was a captain of the Australian team.
Nice.
So that was huge. And I think having that kind of a success in the sport really pushed my mum to stay on me about the stuff. And having that success really kept me out of the bullshit that a lot of my friends and stuff back home were getting into. And whether it was just sacrificing nights out with the boys or stuff like that, I kind of had this bigger goal in mind that was now getting to college and doing this. So I knew I really can't get in any trouble moving forward from about 16 onwards because it can jeopardize me getting a scholarship. So I really pulled my head in and just got that tunnel vision of where I wanted to be at 16. And, that's a young age to get that. And a lot of my friends didn't understand. A lot of the teachers at school didn't understand what I was doing because I was rocking up to school drinking a gallon of milk a day.
Yeah, nice.
And the teachers are looking at me like, you're not allowed to drink that in the classroom. And I'm like,
in the classroom?
Is that what they said?
Yeah, I'd show up in the morning. I'd stop by a 7-Eleven on the way to school.
A gallon?
Buy a 2 litre.
What's a gallon? Oh, 2 litre.
I buy a 2 litre in the morning and then I buy a 2 litre after school.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. Wait. Just so I understand this, I just want to picture this because I didn't know you back then, obviously.
Yeah.
But were you tall? Were you puppy fat? What were you?
I had a little bit of puppy fat, but I was still pretty tall. I was one of the taller kids in my year level.
Yeah.
I always had a pretty thick build to begin with, but you know, Paul put me in touch with another dude who did training and stuff, and I learned how to kind of train.
That was the Olympic lifting. Yeah. How old were you when you first met him?
So that was about 16, 17 at the same time.
You were that young?
Yeah.
What was his
Jesus.
name?
Peter Upham.
Yeah, we talked about this. You were young, bro.
Yeah, so once Paul introduced me to that guy, I actually flew up to Sydney, stayed a week in Sydney, lived in the gym with this guy.
Yeah.
Slept upstairs like a place like this above the gym.
Oh, what?
He was cooking me meals in the gym and would just train, and he basically taught me how to Olympic lift, taught me how to lift, train, do all that shit. So I spent like a week there on like a crash course of lifting.
Yeah.
He set me up with a program. So for the next like year and a half, I was just doing this like Olympic lifting program, putting on size, eating probably 6,000 calories a day, including the milk. All that stuff.
6,000.
So yeah, I was putting on size, and then
6,000.
you know, when all of a sudden I
6,000.
I was then 17 at this point, still playing football in Australia, doing all that, and then it just the opportunity started coming of, wow, this is a reality. Keep it going. So was training, doing all that stuff. Got to about 18, started graduating high school. No teams were really reaching out to me. But I didn't know you had to do all this stuff.
You got to do it yourself, don't you?
I didn't know you had to get cleared by the NCAA. I didn't know none of this stuff. Paul was kind of explaining that to me. So then I had to go back to my school, get report cards, send them into the NCAA.
Can I say one thing, Jeremy? He's a good public school boy like me.
I am.
Kew High, McKinnon High. Private school.
But
anyway.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm doing all this clearinghouse stuff. I'm emailing this place in America that I don't even know. They're getting back to me on all different kinds of hours because of the time difference and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm trying to go through all this. My mum's helping me do all this stuff.
God bless your mum, bro.
Yeah.
Mate, if she was, you know what? When I meet her, I'm going to give her a hug because, mate, Jesus Christ.
Seems like an
How
awesome
much
one.
shit has your mum done? Bro, far out. This mum's doing this, mum's driving that.
Mum was doing.
At least
Mum was driving.
Man, you got good self-awareness. You're appreciative, and I'm sure.
100%,
Do you know what I mean? Like everything you talk about, I'm so intrigued by this.
Yeah.
Because every part of your life, your mother has just been not saying you
to this day.
You drive.
She just got back from the States with me now. She was with me for the last 6 months, helping me with the kids and.
I know.
Jesus,
what an awesome woman.
What a woman!
What a woman, eh?
That's so good.
So.
Is this what Greek women are like?
Old
Eh?
wog women are like that.
Greek?
I can't comment on Greek.
Well, you're Italian. Italian,
Mrs.
Greek,
Borzillo.
Greek.
Yeah.
But no, definitely. You know, to have that support in my corner and have the support of my dad as well.
Don't leave your dad out, Pope.
They were both.
Mr. Gotsis, I like ya.
Yeah.
Even though he's not talking about I like Mrs. Gotsis, I love you too.
But that they just pushed me to whatever I wanted
the
to
best,
do, man.
yeah.
If they saw that I was driven about something, they're going to back me, whether it was school, whether it was whatever it was.
Were you
all of our kids, all of my brothers and sisters, they were like that with whatever we were passionate about. They wanted us just to follow that passion.
What were you like in the classroom?
That was the next thing. I understood that like I probably got to have decent grades to get over there, you know. So you know, tightening up in the classroom was a big thing. Making sure I was passing my classes, doing not just the bare minimum, because I had places I wanted to go, you know, and I understood like the steps you needed to get there. Once I got through some of the clearinghouse stuff, initially Paul had messaged a few people at Hawaii, and Hawaii had reached out to me.
Thank God you didn't go there.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But Hawaii initially like kicked off my interest, so they reached out to me, and I was like, damn, this is really becoming a reality. But then they quickly disappeared once I didn't have any of my school stuff set up.
How was it, just so I understand this for everyone out there, how was it to set that up?
It was really tough.
I thought it's just like getting like a transcript.
That's what I thought. So I thought it was just like, all right, get my senior transcript, turn it in. And
what do you have to do?
So basically I had to go back to my high school and collect all my like syllabuses, which are like the course curriculum.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But every subject I had from year 9, year 10, year 11, year 12.
Why year 9?
Because that's what they classify as high school over there. So
Q, they would have hated you at Q, yeah?
Yeah, so middle school 7 and 8, and then high school's 9 through 12 over in the States. So had to go back to Q High, get all these transcripts.
Were they like, what the hell are you getting this for?
Yeah, they had to dig them up. They had to do all
They had
this
to dig 'em up.
So I'm talking, I had this many fucking syllabuses.
And you had to send it to NCAA.
photocopy them all.
Jeez.
Photocopy.
Shout out to Mum.
Mum.
Took them to her work where they got the big photocopy
Bro.
machine. You can just pop them in there. So
nuts.
she did all that. We email them over. Then it's like kind of this waiting game where they're going through all the stuff, and what their job is then to get these syllabus, match it up to similar subjects that American students are studying, and to match like the course weight. So basically, is our biology class that we're learning in year 10 the same as, does that carry any weight to a subject that they're
Yeah, no
learning?
shit.
Basically, to be Division 1 eligible, you need 16 credits, and credits are like those classes.
Yeah.
So, for example, like a business class, they offer business over there or something, so that'd be 1 credit.
Oh, okay.
You know, if-
what
if
happens if you
we
didn't
do,
have
like-
16? You couldn't be a Div 1.
Yeah, so I had 15 and a half.
Oh, come on.
So
Then what fucking...
What happened?
So then on that, so once I had that, they were able to generate a GPA, which is like my grade.
What was your
point average.
GPA?
I think it was 3.0.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It was good.
What's it out of?
I think
4.
I think the highest you can get's a 4, which is like all A pluses.
That's really
But
good.
saying that though,
So
a
I think
GPA
I
of
averaged,
3s,
like, I think that's like an A or a B plus.
I think 3's all right. That's pretty
So
good.
that's pretty decent. So I wasn't like a complete dumbass in the classroom. I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
That was that milk.
Yeah, it was the milk for sure. But so once I had that, then it was like, oh, you need to sit this exam called the SAT, and I'm like, what the hell is
that.
this?
Oh, shit.
So
You freak out?
look up on the internet SAT.
Freaked out,
and
didn't ya?
They find this testing center 3 hours away. So
3 hours away?
yeah, because they have these.
Let me guess, your mum drove you.
Mum drove me.
There we go.
Mum drove me 4. I had to go sit it 4 times because I couldn't get the score.
4
Because I was missing the.
times.
Yeah.
Wait, stop. 3 hours away every time?
yeah.
Mate, fuck your mum, bro.
Yeah.
What? Why did you sit it 4 times?
So.
Sure your mum
so
cracked
the
it.
first,
Sure your mum cracked it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So the first time, I didn't even know what the exam was. It literally just said show up with a calculator, a
Yeah.
pen,
Yep.
whatever. So I just rock up and take this. It's a 3-hour exam. So
3 hours. So wait. 3 hours there, 3 hour exam,
Yeah.
3 hours back.
Yeah.
Fuck, 9
That's
hours.
a whole day.
Yeah.
Okay, so you sit it the first time. I'm
sit it the
intrigued,
first
but this is
time. So
crazy.
I walk in there. There's a bunch of different people there. A bunch of young athletes that are like either basketball, swimming, trying to get over to the States.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's like, or just regular students that are trying to
Yeah.
do some exchange thing. So
Yeah.
there's a bunch of kids there that are all taking this exam.
Yeah.
All of them are like doing like these little like prep tests and shit while we're sitting there, and I'm sitting there like,
Just ready
what
to
am
go.
I getting into?
Two, yeah.
So you walk in, the first section's like, you got to do an essay in like 45 minutes or some shit. There's like 2 subject lines, and you just got to write an essay. Then it's like the next part's like math, and then the last part's like reading comprehension.
What'd you struggle with?
All of it. 'Cause it's all different stuff that I really used. Like even some of the math like stuff, it was different to what we were learning.
Get to the reason. Get to why it didn't work.
Yeah, and basically like I just sat the test, didn't hit the score that I needed to hit a certain score.
Oh, so you have to hit a score.
Certain
What score did
score.
you hit? Do you remember?
I think I hit like 1,000 the first time. I needed to get like a 1,400.
Okay, so the first time you missed it. The
Yeah,
second
missed
time you
it.
go back,
Second time I think I got like a 1,300.
but you got better.
Got better.
Third time,
I think I got like a 1,400,
But-
but I needed like a 1,450 or
and
something.
then the fourth time you passed.
The fourth time I got 1,440, missed it by 10.
What?
Yeah.
So
what they
you
let
went
you go
5
through.
times.
Yeah, I think it was like, but I didn't go again. So it was like, by this time I was like 18 years old.
Yeah.
And it was getting close to that time of like recruiting and things like
I
that.
can't
It's
get
all
over that you
certain
did it
timings.
4 times,
Yeah.
bro.
I can't believe it.
You've-
I was sitting there like,
Sure,
I'm
your
like,
mum's going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, so technically you didn't pass.
technically I didn't pass, but then Georgia Tech at this point had kind of, Paul Manera had a good connection at Georgia
Tech.
So meanwhile, me and Paul are maintaining this relationship.
Do you still talk to him?
Yeah, still talk to Paul.
That's awesome,
still
man.
talk to John, a lot of these
Yeah.
guys. So Paul and I were maintaining this relationship. John Layton had come in the picture and was training me a bit.
So when John came in, for everyone out there, John used to be the head Australian coach. Now he's the head coach at Croydon.
So John Layton coached in NFL Europe.
Brilliant.
Won an NFL Europe
Championship.
Came over to Australia, got a job with Gridiron Victoria in there. I think Croydon Rangers.
Rangers,
initially,
yeah.
And then he basically was training a bunch of dudes, and I saw his resume, was like, this is a guy I need to be working with. He understands the game, understands how to train and how to get there. So started working with him in the meantime that I'm doing all this like clearinghouse, NCAA stuff.
Yeah.
And then Paul's also doing a good job of like reaching out to his connects over in the States. John's doing the same thing, reaching out to his connects over in the States.
Okay,
So these guys are kind of working behind the scenes for me, just developing.
But don't you have to send? Sorry, don't you have to send footage to? Tech and shit.
Again, Mum comes in here.
Oh my god, Jesus fuck!
When I was playing in the local comp, literally, it's my mum standing there with a camcorder.
Wait, hold on. Just wait. Hold on.
It's getting the highlight tapes.
Hold on.
The mixtape.
Just wait. So your mother, just so I understand this, your mother used to sit there on the sideline with the thing.
With the tripod.
Bo, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not you. It's her who got you there, bro.
100%.
You did it, though, but...
That's why I kicked it off. I got to say thanks. Give the props to Mum.
So she
props to a bunch of people.
she's pretty switched on to know what was going on then.
Yeah,
She's not a stupid woman.
Well, she was meeting with Paul and me. And,
she met Paul.
When I played in that tournament, she came with me, and we had to sit down with Paul. And Paul was really like, "Look, your son's got the potential," and was explaining to me kind of like, these are the steps you got to take if you want to do this.
Yeah, so she's getting the footage.
So she was getting that. She was understanding like we need to get this footage, we need to do this stuff. So she'd just record the games. It wasn't terrible footage. She did her best. And then I had a high school mate that was pretty good with IT, literally cutting up the game into like highlight tape for me.
And did that help you get this position at Georgia Tech?
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
Why do you say that?
The quality of the game that we're playing here
is shit.
Is just not enough of what they're looking for.
Yeah. So they would have looked at it though.
They looked at it, obviously, but we're playing on a rugby field, roped off.
How did you know?
So it's just different.
How did you know that it wasn't good enough quality?
Because the coaches are. So basically, I'm mass blasting. Like I'm literally going on college websites, finding out who the recruiting director is off the website, copying the email address.
And then putting it
sending it.
And what would they say back to you?
Emails.
What would they say back?
Man, I probably sent over 100 emails. Like,
and how many got back to you?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
And these are like, I think it was a small school in Colorado, a small school in Sacramento or something. John had a connection at Baylor. John had a connection at Boise State that I was talking to. Paul had a connection at Baylor, Hawaii, and Georgia Tech. So a couple of those schools had reached back to me. Few of them said like they didn't have positions to offer scholarships because just how the timing works up, who they've already offered. They've only got 20 scholarships they can give out.
20? Is that it?
Yeah.
20?
Per year.
20?
So, most of those recruiting classes are already filled, and these schools aren't going to take a chance on this dude from Australia when they've got a guy playing in high school that they've got 4 years on. They're playing against credible competition, things like that. So
100%.
It was really hard to kind of break that barrier. But then Paul, he had a really good connection at Georgia Tech. So the head coach of Georgia Tech, Paul Johnson, he was the offensive coordinator at Hawaii when Paul was at Hawaii.
Oh, so that's a network, yeah.
So those little connections like that is what Paul was exposing me to. So he reached out to this coach. The coach actually replied, being like, "We're looking for punters and kickers."
I ain't a punter.
And he's like, "I don't got a punter or a kicker, but I got
Look at the size of the guy."
He's like, "I got this big Australian dude that can move pretty well." And my background in Aussie rules and basketball,
helps.
I was pretty athletic for my size. So then, Georgia Tech was like, well, let's give this guy a look. And I think, that just shows who Paul was as a person, that this coach is willing to trust his word and back him and say, let's get this guy over for a recruiting trip. So Georgia Tech then really took the lead on getting me over there. They helped me with the rest of the clearinghouse stuff. As I wasn't eligible, missing that half credit and then not hitting my SAT score, they actually wrote a letter to the NCAA and then, being like, we understand that this guy's missing half a core class. We understand that his SAT score's 10 points below what we need, but we're still willing to offer this guy and all this stuff. And the NCAA then approved me to be D1 eligible with that letter of recommendation from Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
So from that moment, I was like, if Georgia Tech offer me,
I'm going to take it.
I'm going to take it because these guys have put in the effort. They've helped me get to this point of being eligible. It'd be bad on my person to walk away from that after they've stuck their neck out to help me. So I'm loyal like that. I've always been loyal like that.
Do you sign something to say?
Yeah. So went out on my recruiting trip, and this was while I'm drinking the milk. So once Georgia Tech had said, like, we want to get you out on a recruiting trip, I'm like, all right, I need to gain some weight. So started pounding milk. I was eating a jar of peanut butter a week, probably a carton of eggs a week. Basically on like a paleo type diet of just meat, dairy, stuff like that. So I put on about 30 pounds in a month.
30 pounds?
Yeah. So that's about, what, 15 kilos?
15 kilos. That's a good bulk.
Shit.
So I show up at Georgia Tech. I'm 300 pounds at this point.
He's a big boy.
6'4", 300 pounds. And they're just like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, this guy's a guy. This guy's a guy. So I'm... quickly, when you get there, were you just like, what an overwhelming moment. Like, bro, I'm sitting here listening to your story, right? I kind of knew the story, but I didn't know it this detail. I'm like, this is nuts to have an Australian kid. For you, I don't know what you two think, but for you, you're an Australian kid from Kew who's made it all the way, not just to Georgia Tech, which is big, then the next level of NFL is crazy. But when you're at Georgia Tech, were you ever like, this is nuts? Yeah. I'd... Because I was playing pretty high-level basketball and football here in Australia at like 15, 16, I'd kind of been exposed to some of those like higher-level training facilities.
Not at that level, though.
Not at that level, but I'd kind of seen like, all right, at 18, you're going to the AFL. So, you know, just being around some of those guys that are now turning pro, I'd kind of seen like how the training had to change. But when I get to Georgia Tech, you walk in, it's state-of-the-art facilities.
Next level.
They just had built an $5 million indoor facility.
Fuck.
Jesus.
So me and my mum and dad are walking around the campus. You know, we go to...
Did they fly you guys up?
Yeah, they flew us out there.
They schmooze them. That's the idea. That's the idea.
Take you out for nice dinners.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So we went out for a couple of nice dinners. You meet the coaching staff. There was, I think, 3 or 4 other guys on the recruiting trip with me, American blokes.
Well, they ain't Australians. We know that. They ain't Australians.
So yeah, we go out there and man, love the city. It was in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a city boy here, so felt right at home being in the city. And it just felt right, man. I felt like the people that I'd met on that trip were real genuine. The type of people at that facility, at that college, they don't just accept anyone. They want certain type of guys. They want Georgia Tech type of guys. And I really think I fit that mold. And basically after I was on the scale at 300 pounds and they could see who I was, the type of family I come from, who my mum and dad are.
They're real big on character as well.
Yeah.
Huge on character.
Big on character.
Yeah. Massive.
So I think after seeing that, I remember me and Coach Johnson, he brings me into a room, we're having a conversation and he's like, look, we want to offer you a scholarship. You know, we really love what you're about. We love your family.
Did you show any emotion? You're not really is he an emotional, like for you, is he emotional? No, I'm not. I think he's in tune with his feelings, but like for you, did you cry? Because like that must have been a big moment for you, bro.
No, it was more just like
I'm not
a lot of hard work and got into it. And I just felt I felt proud and I felt.
Did your mum cry?
My mum and dad were a bit more emotional.
Because for me, I'm looking at this for you. That's an accumulation of all your hard work.
Yeah,
for so long.
Surely you know, like for me, surely you'd look back and be proud of yourself, but also you probably. I'd break down and cry because you worked that hard. Like I'm hearing your story, I'm feeling this is a great story, man. Like it inspires people, man. It's like this is seriously inspiring me at the moment. So it's a great story. But like surely at that moment, you're
that moment, it was pretty emotional. I remember when he was talking to me, hands were getting sweaty. Probably getting a bit red in the face and stuff. But
so when you told your parents, they would have been ecstatic.
They were over the wall because they had seen all the sacrifice and the sacrifice from them, not just me but from them, and to know that like all of it's coming to
it's going to something.
It's the late nights of driving me to my sport, the picking up, dropping off, the seeing the blood, sweat and tears that I've put into all my sport my whole life. I've always been a guy that's been so passionate about whatever I want to do. Seeing my mum and stuff probably be a bit more emotional. That made me get a bit emotional.
Fuck yeah, bro. Yes.
But I just felt like I was ready.
That's like an accumulation of all your hard work. And you know what? I'll say this, Chris, I've told you this before, and I've told you this, Brick. A lot of people, like athletes, when they make it, it's not just the athlete. Like what Adam said. Adam, you said it right. it's not just me. It was a whole team of people,
100%.
right? And the best athletes know that.
Yeah.
And for you had a whole team behind you.
Yeah, I had a whole team, but I didn't have any of my mates or anything. My mates would be supporting me, but they're also like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah,
it's not
they
gonna
didn't
work
understand.
out.
They
They didn't understand.
Yeah.
But you
They
dream,
couldn't see the vision
you
that I
dream
could
big,
see.
man. You
Yeah.
dream, mate. Like you dream so big, they probably were like, "Well, he's not going to make it because it's But saying that
Same
though.
thing.
They were right about the small percentage, but you didn't. You had a certain vision, and that was your vision.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at Georgia Tech. You're
Getting the offer.
so you got the offer,
And then basically I go, he then follows that conversation up with, we're going to offer you, but we don't want you talking to any other schools. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
And with that, I respect that.
No, but you weren't gonna do it
I wasn't
anyway.
going to do it anyway. It would have been nice to see what else is out there, because there's obviously...
Bro, you got offered a free ride at Div 1 school.
Yeah.
You
So-
dickhead.
No, I'm just saying.
Your
just from
ego, for
Yeah.
you, I can understand for you because you work so hard. It's like, will Bama offer? Will LSU?
You just never know. But at that point, I was like, if I can get my foot in the door, that's all I need. Because I know any opportunity is a great opportunity, and it's
Absolutely.
what you do with
Whoa.
it.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh, say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again. It's some
know what?
motivational shit, eh?
Bless you.
Tell me exactly.
Woo!
Yeah, mate.
Take that snippet, put that up, baby.
That's a
Fuck,
good reel.
I'm going to play that on fucking loop in my
It
head.
is though.
Bro.
I mean, everyone's got that opportunity ahead of them. And I was just telling Chris downstairs, and it came to me later at Georgia Tech, this other thing. But man, I've always just had this kind of mindset that whatever you want to do is right in front of you. It's up
I
to the
love that.
individual to
Yeah.
want to do it. Whatever it is, man. If you want to be if you want to fly airplanes, you got to want to do it. The people around you, they can want it for you, but until you want to do it, it's not going to happen.
And it's
Yeah.
there. There's no fucking excuse.
You might
Yeah.
make it, but it's not going to be what you want it to be until you want to do it. So I'd made up in my mind that I want to do this, and I'd committed everything to it. I was working a full-time job because I knew I couldn't even go to university here because it takes away from my eligibility to go to college. So I graduated high school now. I'm 18. My friends are going off to uni. They're taking trips overseas, stuff like that. I went and got a job, was working full-time at a gym, and basically, because I was like, I need a place where I can work out for free. So I went and got a job at a gym, was working full-time, would train there in my off time, like outside of work, and then basically just waiting for a team to offer me. And I'm like, I don't know when this is coming. I'm 19 now. I just turned 19. And
you put everything on the line.
I'm sitting there like, shoot, is a school gonna reach out to me? I'm kind of in this like weird limbo space of like what to do. Because I'm also like, shit, if this isn't gonna work out, I got to get a move on in what I'm gonna do. Whether it's going to school here in Australia or whatever. But I kind of told myself like, if I don't get an offer, I'm 19 years old. If I don't get an offer, I'm gonna go save this money that I've been saving, pay to go to a JUCO over in the States,
And then-
and try and do it that way.
Either way, you were going to make it in your
Either
head.
way, I told myself I'm getting over there, and all I need was to get over there.
Just
Once I'm
need an
over there,
opportunity.
I'm over there.
Let's talk about your stint at Georgia. How was it? Like for your 4 years?
Yeah, so it was like 3.5 years.
Yep.
Ended up signing in the spring. So signed in January over there, the end of the winter. Sorry, and then I wasn't able to come over till that August. So for that 6 months, I was basically here in Australia, just working with John Layton, training with him 3 times a week,
Just working
4
hard.
times a week, lifting in my own time 3-4 times a week.
Yep.
Just getting ready, man. And I was 300 pounds when I went on that recruiting trip, but me and John had decided like that's not going to be like good weight you're holding.
Nah,
when
not
you
at all.
go
No,
there.
no, no.
So we really just changed my body, changed the way I trained, and when I went back there, I was probably 275.
But you're quicker,
But
more
I was
agile.
athletic as shit, conditioned.
Yeah.
And that was my mindset was, I know I'm not going to be as strong as these guys who have been lifting from 14.
But
So let me be more conditioned. Let me be able to work harder for longer. I might not be up to snuff with where they are strength-wise, but my conditioning is going to keep me consistent for the whole time I'm on the field. There's going to be no drop-off, where a lot of guys, it would be, oh, a flash play here, flash play
But
there.
they can't,
But then
They're just
for 10
fucked,
plays,
yeah.
it's shit. you
Yeah.
know? For me, I was just consistent the whole time. And that's what I've kind of built myself off is that consistency.
How did you go? Question is, so when you got there, how did they accept you? Because for me, when I went there, I kind of felt like they thought I was a bit of a gimmick, like you're Australian, they don't really know where you're from.
Yeah.
Personally, with most Americans, no offense, Americans, I love America. These both know, but how do I put it? Very I don't mean this in such a bad way, but I love America, but Americans are very full on. They know what they want, which is not bad, but they're very confident in their own ability. And when you got there, how did the boys take you? How was it like? Were they like, shit, you're good there in position?
I think the toughest part was a lot of questioning of like, why are we recruiting this guy from Australia when there's a ton of kids here in America, especially Georgia. Those southern states, Georgia, Florida.
Heaps.
Texas.
It's huge.
Man, breeding zones for football players. Breeding zones. So
you had to
a lot
prove
of guys
that
on
you
the
were-
teams are looking at me like, man, they're bringing this guy from Australia when we've got hundreds of guys in our backyard. So
Were they cool with you though? They were cool?
Yeah, they were all cool because they saw me as like this kind of foreign dude.
They would have loved you, bro. They would have loved you.
Nah, they love me. They love me. They were all good dudes, but definitely breaking that initial
it would have been
kind
hard,
of
man.
barrier was a bit different. And I remember like I get there July 31st. We're starting fall training camp August 1st. So I get there July 31st.
Were you nervous?
A little bit because now I'm coming over just by myself.
Okay, yeah, you don't have your support. You don't have your support.
I've flown over. I got to go register for all my classes that same day that I land.
Did you cry before you left your mum, yes or no?
Nah.
Oh my God.
Nah, I was ready
I'm
at
the
this point.
biggest fucking girl ever. What is the matter with
Nah,
me?
But
But
showing
I was
emotions, all right.
19 at this point. I've been training.
I was 23.
You're ready though.
Yeah, I'd
You
been
were ready.
training.
Sure
I was
your
ready
mum
for
cried.
this. Yeah.
Oh, thank
definitely.
God, thank God.
Yeah.
But I
Thank God.
was ready for this opportunity.
Yeah.
So you get there.
I was more excited. I get there, register for all my classes, literally with my 3 big bags, straight to the hotel that we're staying in for training camp.
Oh, okay, camp. Yeah.
So I haven't even moved in the dorms where all the other freshmen, they got there at the start of the summer. So they've already been there for about 2 months.
Shit, man.
Kind of been integrated with the team. Settled into the dorms. They've been in summer classes.
So they all know each other.
So the team's all already there. I'm the last guy coming.
Oh, what?
So I show up.
Was that awkward or what?
That was a little awkward because they've already had that kind of base of establishment
Friendship.
with the team. They've kind of had a bit of the senior guys making relationships. So I kind of was like falling into this like situation where I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. And I remember, man, first day we get out there on the field, first time going through D-line drills. I trip over the bags, fall over the bags, and I'm just like, fuck, this can't start any worse.
It's all right.
And then shortly after that, a bunch of other guys were tripping over shit. So I was like, it's not that bad.
Did they make sure, did the coaches all make sure the boys kind of knew you, got around you? Like, was it?
Nah.
Oh, really?
No.
You could just do it yourself.
Coaches are there to coach.
Oh, okay, because when I don't know about you, Dirk, when you were there as an intern, but for me, I remember the head coach, Coach Wilson, who's at the Dallas Cowboys now. He made how they are, you know what they're like, but they made sure that I was all right. They made sure that all the players the players loved me. I don't know if it was because I was Australian. They thought I was from New Zealand.
Yeah.
They asked me stupid
I
questions.
just fucking love it.
What are they like with you?
Bro, they're the same, man. Like, well, obviously, we had our punter was from Melbourne, Tory Taylor. So I think they'd already been exposed to Aussies.
So they would have been exposed then.
So they just thought, but they thought it was fucking awesome. They loved it. They think like, who the fuck are you? Wild,
it's a bit
man.
different. You sound a bit different. But, one thing I could do was drink a beer pretty quick.
and they love that.
They love that. So quickly established myself with a lot of dudes because I could pound some beers.
Because when I came over, you showed me around.
Yeah.
The guy you were with, man, the stories he was telling me about you it's not clubs over there, is it? It's all
The bars.
Bars.
Yeah.
It's weird. We got clubs here, but he was telling me stories about you and how much you used to drink, and that's obviously that culture over there.
Yeah.
They love all that stuff, tailgating, all that shit.
Yeah. So it was a bit different because you grow up here in Australia, big drinking culture from a young age.
Yeah.
At that point, once I got there, I'd kind of been through all that bullshit, all the partying with my mates and stuff.
And they
So
were
I was
just
a bit more
starting.
switched on, where a lot of these guys, it's their first time moving away from home.
Yeah.
First time getting a little bit of freedom. So they're kind of getting into the partying.
They're still getting loose.
Yeah. For me, I was a bit more, all right, I've got 4 years to get to where I want to be now. You know, a lot of these guys are like, I've got 3 years to fuck off, and then I've got 1 year to get where I want to be. And that's what I feel like a lot of the mistakes happen with these college guys is they come in from high school where they've been kind of under that microscope where they know they can't fuck up. Now they're away from the nest. That little bit of freedom, the responsibility's on them, and priorities get mixed up. You know, they get caught up with chasing women, chasing whatever.
Oh, you never did that, did you? Never.
It's part of it. But no, for real though, my goal was I know where I want to be. You know, if I meet a girl, I meet a girl, whatever.
Did you have a girlfriend over there at all, no?
No, I was dating a chick back in Australia at the time.
You did a long-distance relationship?
Well, I was dating her before I left.
Okay. Yeah.
So we tried that, and that... we kind of just split mutually because it wasn't working. It wasn't fair to us to be trying to do that at such a young age. And I'm doing what I want to do. She's doing what, you know.
It's amicable.
So we just said, you know, you do what you want, I'll do what I want, and kind of went our ways. And yeah, man, I just bought into what I needed to do, man. From that point on, I knew handle what I needed to in the classroom and take care of all that first. And then the football was definitely like the priority, but me already being kind of in this like foreign situation where I'm coming over there, I knew I can't get arrested, I can't get in trouble with the police, I can't be in trouble with the team. So I was kind of on a different set of rules because if I do those things, I'm getting sent back home to Australia and I'm not coming back over. A lot of these guys in the States, if they get arrested, they might get kicked off a team, but another American team's going to pick them up. They're not losing their visa, shit like that. So I had a lot more at stake. So, you know, when I was going out, having a night out with the boys or whatever, I always had in the back of my mind what I had to do and, you know, kind of had...
More caution.
A bit more caution.
I'll just think about how much work Mama Gotsis put in. Fucking hell.
Exactly. And the last
Jesus, man.
The last thing I want to do is disappoint the people that had helped me get there.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't only representing myself.
You're representing
my family. I'm representing the people that have put their neck out for me. And it's bigger than me. So at that point, you know, it's just...
I'm going to get these tattooed on me, I reckon. I'm going to get these tattooed.
All these fucking quotes, I love it.
To the grind, man. And... you know, just bought in, and I remember...
what number are you, by the way?
96.
I'll get 96 tattooed on me.
There we go.
Next tat, I'll get it tattooed on me. I'll get Gotsis on me. I'll get
on the other cheek.
Jags or something like that.
Jags got to 96.
96.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it? 96?
Yeah.
96. There we go.
But,
2 for 1, Melbourne Shrimp Culture and Gotsis, 96. Anyway, keep going, sorry.
So we get out. You know, the first 2 years go by pretty well. My first year, freshman year, is kind of just... I'm getting my feet wet, make it through training camp, and... we lost a couple of D linemen in training camp to injury, so I got an opportunity to play.
Year one,
When a lot of freshmen come in the red shirt. Me just, I think, coming over with that conditioning level, like I was mentioning, I was able to stay so consistent that these coaches built that trust within me that we can trust this guy on the field. I'm pretty switched on mentally, so I was able to pick up the playbook pretty quick. I was able to like do that stuff. It was more just adapting to whatever schedule, the lifting, what the training's like, all that type of stuff. Once that was handled, the school stuff was easy. I was able to take care of that. That wasn't an issue. Georgia Tech provided a bunch of help with that. Like they had a bunch of advisors that can help you if you need it. But I was pretty set with that. And then, yeah, man, freshman year went by. I ended up playing, I think, 13 games my freshman year.
How'd you go?
Did all right. You know, got my feet wet.
Well, how do you think he went? 13 games. I think he went well.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's pretty amazing. That's what I mean.
A freshman doing 13 games.
That's pretty
good.
fucking awesome, man.
And then came back that next season into the spring, and obviously once I've had that taste now, I know what to expect. I was able to know how to train now, get a full off season in with the team, come back that second year, and that's when I was really able to excel. I had a hell of a teammate next to me, Jeremiah Tauchu. He made it to the NFL. He was a senior at the time.
Is he still in the NFL?
Yeah, he just played last year. He was with the Chargers last year.
Do you still talk to him?
Yeah, me and him are real good mates. And
do you notice the common theme, everyone here? He doesn't leave his friends. No, seriously, I'm just...
He's a loyal man.
But you got to be loyal in life. Chris, I'll tell you this, you got to be loyal. You guys know that. Be loyal. It's important, though. Most people don't have it these days.
Yeah, so I kind of saw the way this guy was working. He was a senior.
What was his name, sorry, bro?
Jeremiah Tauchu.
Good player?
Yeah, really good player.
Yeah.
And he was... I think he's Nigerian born.
Nigerian.
And then, grew up in the States. So he kind of had a bit of a different household.
Is he your size, big guy?
Not as big as me, more of a pass rusher off the edge. So a bit of a smaller guy.
Yeah. Quick though?
Yeah, like a Micah Parsons that we're watching.
Oh, that guy.
Kind of like that.
Oh, crazy.
So an absolute weapon, man.
Oh, God.
And I'd just watch the way this guy would train and work and his mentality. And probably the best thing you can do as a young college guy is kind of see these older guys that are about to go to the league, watch what they're doing, emulate what they're doing, you know? Be their backpack. Follow them fucking everywhere.
So you followed this guy around and shit?
Man, just watching the way he'd work, watching the way he'd train, that's what I need to be doing.
Was he happy to give up these knowledge and help you?
Yeah, definitely.
What a ledge.
Because he was getting a lot of success on the field. So me and him were playing on the same side of the D-line, and there were two guys playing on the other side. So me and him, his senior year, I think he had 14 and a half sacks.
Is that a lie? I wouldn't know.
Yeah, and then he set the school record for sacks for his time at Georgia Tech. So he was having a bunch of success, and that led to me having a bunch of success. Yeah. So me and him were like this little tandem, killing it.
Yeah, wow.
He then went off to the NFL.
What number did he go? Shaft.
He went second round as well.
Lucky, yeah.
And I can't remember what number. It might have been in the 40s or 50s.
You must have been stoked for him as a mate,
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And yeah, he went off to the NFL. I'm now going into my junior year, and now it's all starting to click. And I've got 2 years to get to where I've already put good film out my senior year now. My sophomore. And
when did it start to dawn upon you that holy shit, I could make the NFL?
After that sophomore year.
Was that like a big? I think I can do this.
Yeah, that sophomore year, I had a really good year, stat wise. Me and that Jeremiah both had a really good year, and. When he was coming out for the draft, he was telling me teams are asking about me. So he's telling me like, dude, teams are looking at you.
Wouldn't you know if did a lot of managers come to you and say, look, I want to manage you?
No, so agents weren't able to reach out to you at that point.
Can't contact
they can't.
Yeah, no, because you're still in college. You need 3 years in college before you can declare eligible, and before you declare eligible, agents aren't allowed to talk to you. You need to say like, I'm leaving school, so agents can represent.
But surely you knew that people were interested in.
Not at that point until he was telling me kind of.
Okay, yeah.
You're not talking.
But did you really want to know because you're still focused on? I mean,
yeah, obviously it's nice.
It's cool to know
because now I know like shit. This is
real.
A bit more of a reality, you know, rather than me just thinking like do my 4 years and see what happens at the end. Now it's like, well, shit, teams are already looking at you. Now it's time to really fucking crank it up to the next level.
Yeah.
So came back my junior year, and it was hard because my sophomore year, I had 3 seniors around me. So I had 2 seniors on that side, Jeremiah on this side, all seniors. So all 3 were gone.
Oh, shit.
So now I've got 3 young guys playing with me. I'm getting all the attention from the opposite teams. They're like, we need to stop this guy.
Because they're going to.
So it was a lot harder of a year now because I was like.
Because you have these 3 seniors.
I didn't have a lot of guys around me.
Did you try and. So when these juniors come in, it's a massive difference when you got 3 seniors and you're trying to upskill them. But there's a massive difference, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was definitely a big drop off because having those seniors playing, these guys hadn't really played much. Where I had played the whole season the year before with all these older dudes. Now they're gone. These young guys are now getting their first taste of the action, and I'm kind of like, fuck, I need some help around me.
Yeah, because these boys are making mistakes. They're trying to still figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out, get their feet wet a little. But they were all good players in their own, but they were just younger, you know.
They just didn't have the experience. Yeah.
So
were you a captain?
Not my junior year, because we still had seniors around us. But we had a really good year that junior year. We ended up making the Orange Bowl. I think we won 13 or 14 games. Ended up playing Dak Prescott, Mississippi State in the Orange Bowl, won that, and we finished like number 6 in the country.
Jesus.
So, we had hell of a quarterback, hell of skill players, and we had a really good year.
So then, this is your coming into 3rd year?
That was my 3rd year.
Yeah.
And then, man, after that 3rd season, that's when it all like really clicked, and I was like, that's when I really started putting like whatever's in front of you, whatever you want, go get it, man. Go get it.
Go fucking grab it.
Yeah.
It's on you now.
You're a law of attraction guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
I visualize everything like you.
Man, I watched that movie, The Secret.
Fuck me too, bro.
And
shit.
And
I did.
It almost like it was just the right time for me to see that. And
Wait, before drafting.
it was like before going into my senior year. So I watch this.
Sorry, everything you talk about, you're talking about visualization.
Yeah,
You know that.
yeah.
It's crazy because that's what I talk about. Law of attraction is unbelievable.
Yeah, you got to put it out.
You got to put it out there to the world and then
Manifest
manifest it.
Yeah,
Correct.
manifest
Very
it.
good. Manifest.
Exactly.
So keep going. Sorry.
It was me and my mate, one of my best mates, and
Is he Australian or
no, American bloke.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was a walk-on, and he wasn't going to go to the league or nothing, but his dad's a doctor. He wanted to kind of get into the medical field and stuff. Me and him are sitting there, and we're just having these conversations, and literally I'm just like, man, everything's right there for us. Like, I'm sitting on the couch, like, talking to him, and we're just like, everything's right there for us. We just got to want to do it, you know?
What does he do now? Doctor?
Yeah, he's in medical sales.
Oh,
doing
shit.
all that stuff.
Jesus,
and,
fuck.
and doing well.
Are you still talk? Let me guess, you still talk to him?
Yeah, still
See,
one of
Rick,
the good
there's a
mates.
common theme.
Yeah. And
There we go.
Couple of loyal
man,
boys here.
it was from that point on, it was the way I looked at the world, the way I looked at
Different.
approaching what I'm doing. Everything was different. It got to a point where I couldn't even talk to certain people because of their perspective on
life.
reality of what reality is so, it was so skewed, and little negative things, whether it was one little negative thing, they'd let that change their whole, instead of finding the positive in the negative, they'd just focus on the negative. For me, I couldn't even see the negative. I was at such a point where everything was positive. Something bad would happen, it was like that Jocko shit good.
Yeah.
Find the positive in it.
Yeah.
Find the positive in it and feed off that. So for me, it got to a point now, I'm going into my senior year where I'm developing into a leader, and I understand, like, it's a bit hard. There's a lot of cultural barriers in NFL. You go into a locker room where now it's, you know.
Wait, are you drafted now?
No, this is still senior year.
Okay.
I'm in a locker room where it's predominantly, you know,
Black African American.
Probably 80%.
80%?
Yeah.
There you go.
So
80%?
yeah. So it's kind of hard to understand, I feel like, how to communicate in a lot of those cultures.
Look at you. You are cultured now.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
you're American. You even
But-
talk American.
He does sound a bit like
Bro,
that,
you
doesn't he?
talk American.
He's got that. He's
It's
got
got a
that
little
Q
bit of
inside
it,
him.
yeah.
Little twang.
Bro,
little
Yeah,
you
yeah.
talk
100%.
American. Everything about you Americanized now.
Yeah.
But you've been there long enough. So
Yeah, so heading into that senior year, I really had to figure out a way to be able to show my leadership, show who I am. But I wanted to do it without being that vocal guy, the guy that's just always talking, you know. And for me, I figured out, do it by your work ethic. Show them who you are. You know, you don't need to say a word. Show up every day and show them who you are. And man, for me, it was like I'd be in the weight room by myself. Actually, another walk-on mate that I'm really good friends with, still talk to this day, still comes to my games. Man, he wasn't going to the NFL either. He was a civil engineer, studying his ass off every day. This guy would wake up in the morning, 5 a.m. with me. Me and him would go to the weight room, go fucking lift weights.
Yeah.
The rest of the team sleeping. Go to classes, come back, go to practice, go lift with the team, do that extra shit.
Yeah.
But we're getting it in. Me and him are getting it in at this point. And he sees my vision, and he's pushing me to get to where I want to be now.
But
Thankful for these guys, man.
surely at this point, right, because I know in America, there's a lot more media on the draft, and they would have been talking Adam Gotsis could get drafted, Georgia Tech. Sure, you heard that.
Yeah, so now I'm leading into my senior year. I'm getting there are guys, seniors leaving from that year. After my junior year, there are seniors leaving that are telling me, like, why isn't Adam coming out for the draft? Why isn't he coming out for the draft?
What do you mean
you're
coming out
thinking.
for the draft?
Because you can leave after your third year. So there were teams saying, this guy should come out this year. This guy should come out this year.
Did you ever make an All-American team or something like that?
All ACC.
What's? Oh, really? Jeez, that's hectic.
So I think my sophomore year was second team All ACC, and then my senior year was
That's big, man.
second
huge.
team All ACC.
Oh,
but
shit.
I barely played my senior year because I got hurt.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
So, man, that senior year off season, me and this guy were just getting it in every day. And yeah, man, I just told myself, like, let me lead these boys by my work ethic. And through the off season, man, I just told myself, like, I'm going to be at the front of every drill. I'm going to fucking lead this team, you know. And we were going to have another good year, man.
How'd you guys go?
we were doing all right, and then
Because you didn't play, did you?
well, I got hurt 6 games in, tore my ACL.
Was it contact?
Literally, first play of the game, man. Me and this guy were going at, like, blocking each other, and I go to just, like, throw him off me, and I just felt like I got tripped.
And then, that
Popped my ACL.
That's a big loss to the team as well.
Yeah. So, team ended up finishing like 3-12 that year. So,
3-12.
yeah.
Fuck.
It means shit for you to watch.
First
Huh?
time, it was tough. It was the first time in I think 20 years that Georgia Tech wasn't bowl eligible. So,
Oh shit! So you've done your ACL. Okay, so let's go to the draft, right? So you don't play the end of the year, right? After you did your knee, were you worried you weren't going to get drafted?
Yeah. So tore my ACL, and literally first thought in my mind was,
Fuck.
I can't finish out this season with the guys. That was the first thought. Fuck, I put so much in there to be there with these guys, help these young guys through it, and to not be out there on the field with them, fucking killed me, man. Killed me.
Because of your family.
Because it wasn't about me. You know, it's about the team. And a lot of my mates are just like, don't worry about it. Focus on going, combine, shit like that. But for me, I'm here right now with you guys, you know.
If everyone out there, he's not just saying that. You know how some people just say it? He's not saying that.
Yeah.
So people do say that. He's actually being
see
serious.
with his loyalty.
Like, he's actually being serious.
Yeah.
You know some
No.
people just say it for the cliche? You actually mean it. But
Yeah.
anyway, keep going.
So, the season finishes, definitely not what we wanted. But for me now, it's I've got to focus on, I'm now done, I'm graduated.
Yep.
With the ACL, I ended up having surgery a month later.
Hamstring tendon or quad tendon?
Went with quad tendon.
Oh, very good. Smart choice.
But it ended up getting infected.
Not a
after
smart
about
choice.
month. Yeah.
Not a smart
And I
choice.
think that just, you look at the college training rooms, you've got 4 different sports in there, limited supplies, things like that. So you're sharing.
Should never happen. Shouldn't have happened. How dirty were you at the time about that?
Yeah, I was pretty.
You're pretty pissed
upset.
off, mate.
Pretty upset.
You have every right to be annoyed, mate. That is, I don't care what. Listen, it's a great school, but that should never happen.
Yeah. So
that's just common. Just clean up.
So it kind of set me back a bit. Had the.
You could have lost your leg, bro.
Yeah, they went back in there.
Bro, you could have lost your leg. You got to be very careful with that.
Yeah, they ended up doing a clean out.
Did it swell up?
Yeah, it was pretty swollen.
How much pain were you in?
It was pain, but that first 2-3 weeks, you're doing all that, trying to get that extension back and all that stuff. So you're not really sure if it's the pain from the
True,
you're working the graft or if it's infected.
Yeah,
But
it's actually not an issue.
I could tell it was like where the incision was. It was red, shit like dead giveaways. So I could tell it was infected. Initially, Georgia Tech was probably like it wasn't infected. Then met back with the surgeon. He's like, yeah, it's infected. We'll probably have to go clean it out. So got the clean out done. Had a pick line in my arm for a month
Oh shit!
because of the infection. So had
Yeah,
to put antibiotics.
bro,
in
it's
there.
not good, man.
So every 8 hours, man, for a month, I'm injecting shit into my arm, like by myself doing it. Every 8 hours on the hour, I'm having medical shit shipped to the crib so I can do it.
Was it that bad?
Yeah,
Bro,
because the doctor was like, you can do it for 2 weeks, whatever, but to make sure like it doesn't come back, you want to
you
do it
gotta
for.
make sure.
Listen,
you want to go through.
This is how bad it is, right? You can lose a leg off it.
Yeah.
That's so. I don't. You need to understand the gravity of it. How they fucked up.
Yeah.
More. I'll give the money.
So
but anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So then,
That's all right.
man, go through that, and man, at this point, now it's January. I'm starting to train, getting ready. I get a Senior Bowl invite.
What's a Senior Bowl?
Basically, all the top players in college get invited to go to these bowl games where they all play. All the different colleges, they put them on teams. And
And
an
they put them
all-star
on. They
game
put them
kind
on
of thing.
TV as well.
Yeah, it's like an all-star game. So I got invited to that, but I was injured, so they don't take injured guys. So
But it'd been good for you to go. Could you go and watch them?
yeah,
though?
but they don't take injured guys.
Oh,
'Cause
really?
They want to give those positions to
Fair
do
enough.
that.
Fair enough. But
Yeah.
they could take you. You're probably one of the better players.
But I'm going to go meet all these coaches and GMs later at the combine.
Oh, so you went to the combine?
Yeah, so then got my combine invite.
Oh, shit.
Because you can be an injured guy, go to the combine.
But you did no
'cause-
testing.
Did no testing. I
didn't even know you went to the combine.
But you do all the medical.
I didn't even. So
Because they do all the medical
Dude,
there,
the combine's sick. I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
But wait,
for viewers. Not for the players.
For you,
For the players, no.
true.
you'd been the worst time watching these guys go through the. How many Georgia Tech guys were there?
I think it was me and one other bloke.
One other.
Yeah.
Jesus.
One other.
Yeah.
Jesus, fuck.
So I don't know how many guys get invited. I can't remember the number, but you get invited down there, and
Thank you.
you know, so I went down there, and it's a meat market, man.
What do you mean a meat market?
You've got let's just say 200 guys, right? They invite down there. All 32 teams are there. They've each got their own hotel room set up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking projector screens with shit. Couches lined up like you're going in for a job interview with these teams.
But shouldn't you have your agent here? Shouldn't your agent?
Yeah, so your agent...
Do you have an agent? You got an
At
agent?
this point, I signed with an agency.
Okay, who did you sign with?
So I signed with this agency, Sports Trust.
Are you still with them or no?
No.
Who are you with now?
GSE Sports.
So that's a shout out to-
Sorry, I just changed last year too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
GSE
Global Sports Elite. You realise really quick, like these agents... Some of them have your intention, some of them don't. Some of them are just looking to make a dime off you. You know, so the people I initially went with, they were good people and they were the right people for me at that time. And then, you know, obviously after that, it wasn't the right people for me. So
Yeah.
you know,
That's
I'm
fine.
at the
That's fine.
Yeah, and that's fine. And
Yeah.
that, you know, no bad blood.
No. That's business, bro.
Business.
You got to look at it that way. It's
Exactly.
business.
So I'm at the combine. You show up. All the 32 teams are there. Whatever injuries you have in your college medical report, these teams all get. You go to the hospital. If you've had an ACL,
They
even
check
ankle
everything.
sprains, man.
They check everything.
You're getting MRI'd, X-rayed.
Because you're
on
an
everything.
asset, bro.
They're investing in you. They're
Yeah.
investing
Absolutely.
millions of dollars potentially. In
Did
you.
they interview you? All these clubs interview you?
Yeah, so I had it's like a weird thing. So you go through all the medical, then there's like these it's almost like social hours like in the afternoons. So
Wow.
basically it's like this big room set up. They've got all like coaches, some of the position coaches are in there, some of the scouts are in there, and you just kind of walk through there. And these coaches will like just kind of holler at you and be like, "Hey, come over, have a chat," you know. And they just want to get to know you a bit.
That's
they might ask you
so
some
random,
questions.
bro. It's like,
that's
hey,
very
you over here. Come
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
very
So
weird.
it's kind of like you don't know who the
Oh,
person is.
oh, shit.
Some of them might, you might know.
Were any
but-
of them like trying to like? Because in the AFL, my boys would tell me they're asking like questions to put you off your game. Do they do the same thing with?
Yeah. But it'll be just like initially in these like little meetings, they're like little 10, 15 minute like. Chat.
small
It's
ones,
just
just
like a
chat.
little chat. Get to know your story a bit. Who
Yeah.
are you? And then you can get selected to go to like these like more private meetings where the coaches, what I was saying, they have these hotel rooms set up where they'll have the projector up with the film. They'll have literally 3 couches on one wall and a chair on the
It
other
sounds
side.
very kinky, if you know what I mean. I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Like he's saying it as a hotel room. He's got chairs and everything. You know what I
It's
mean?
intimidating. I mean,
Bro,
you're walking into this.
Bro, is it intimidating? Of course it is.
You're
Bro.
walking into this hotel room. You know they have it all scheduled up. So it'll be like 8:15 you meet with the Patriots, 8:30 you meet with the Panthers, 8:45 you meet with the Broncos.
How nervous were you? Be honest.
Yeah, nervous, but I was also prepared. You
No,
know?
no, no. But I know that. But
Yeah.
come on, you'd be nervous, bro.
Yeah, nervous because I'm like, fuck. You hear about all these weird questions they ask, all this shit.
What question they ask you?
They didn't ask me anything weird. They were just like, tell us a bit about you, where you come from, you know, a little bit.
They know about you. They just want you to say it.
Yeah, but they're going to be like, do you drink? Do you smoke weed?
But we were honest with them, weren't you?
Yeah, I said, I enjoy a beer.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, what's enjoy a beer mean? I'm like, I mean, I'll have a beer with a couple of mates, but I'm not going overboard or anything like that. You know, I realize I got work, I got responsibilities, I got stuff like that. But they've got everything. They know everything about you.
They already know that, yeah.
So they-
everything.
They can keep it about football if they want, or they're just character testing you.
Yeah, but
you know,
you can actually communicate with people. You're very good at that. You're very good at holding a conversation. There's a lot of people in the NFL who or college who might get an invite to that who can't do that, and they would have struggled with that.
yeah. But at the end of the day, these guys don't even give a shit about that. They want football players.
Correct,
Yeah.
but character does play a part. Yeah.
As an organization, you kind of got to see these guys because you don't want a guy representing your organization in the wrong way. So
No, 100%, bro.
You're the guy that's got a track record of getting arrested. You're not going to sign him to your team because all of a sudden, you know, that's what's popping up at the bottom of Sports Center. So-and-so's arrested. Doesn't make the team look good, you know? So that's kind of what they're doing, just vetting you a bit, getting to know you. And then went through that process, thought I did pretty good. again, go through all the now we're getting into all the testing. So I'm with my group that's doing all their 40s. You're still in the group, you just don't do any of the stuff.
So you're
out there on the field.
Oh, really?
But you're just not doing the drills.
So if I put in your YouTube, Adam Gotsis draft camp, what would come up? Nothing.
Yeah, I didn't do nothing.
Just him just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, but I told him, like,
stuff.
I'm going to do what I can at my pro day. Because there's the combine, and then each school hosts like a pro day where the scouts will come out to the school. And
dude, I've seen that. That's nuts.
Yeah, and the guys that didn't get the combine invite now get a chance to showcase for the scouts that come to the school.
And you did
so
that.
for me, the only thing I could do was bench.
Yeah.
I had the ACL.
How many reps you hit at 225?
I hit 25.
Ooh.
That's really good.
Well, I've hit an 8, 9, 10, you know.
But you know, I was just like, anything over 20 is good.
Very good.
You know? Especially for me, I'm a long
levers.
guy,
You got long limbs,
It's a bit harder for me. So yeah, I was only able to bench, but you know, at the combine, man, you're down in your fucking underwear. You walk out in front of all these teams. They do your height, your weight, your wingspan. You're like on a stage, and they're fucking all just up on these bleachers, like staring at you.
Who won the Heisman that year, by the way? Who won the Heisman year last year? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Not RG the third, Robert Griffin the third.
Might have.
I think it was RG the third.
Yeah.
Did you poll well in the Heisman?
No.
No, you didn't.
No.
It goes to QB, doesn't it?
Yeah, it goes to QBs, receivers, skill players.
Sort of like a Brownlow in terms of like.
Yeah, it's
Anyone who's
midfield.
gonna really like
Those guys have the
Yeah.
ball in their hand every play.
They're the ones that get.
Let's move forward. Okay, so we've done that to draft night, right? This is a big night, right? Where were you? Were you with your parents? Surely Mother Gotsis was there.
She wasn't, man. But I had all my siblings.
Where was it, in America?
Yeah, I was in the States because I was still rehabbing. So I'm over here. I was in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm training.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I'm still training at Georgia Tech.
Oh,
I'm training and rehabbing at Georgia Tech now. So draft night's coming up. I really have no idea what team's going to take me.
You told me you had no idea whatsoever.
No idea. And
so they didn't even say, they didn't hint it.
Nah. So after the combine, you'll have some coaches call you and just like be like, "Hey man, how's the rehab coming along? How you feeling?" Things like that. So just little catch-up calls from when they last saw you, see how you're doing. I had Denver called me, Arizona called me. I think coach from the Panthers called me. But other than that, I'm an injured guy. There's not much that, what else can I tell him? Yeah, rehab's going.
Were you nervous that was going to
well.
affect the result?
I was more nervous I knew that my body of work that I'd put in on the field is what they're going to judge me off.
Yeah.
And I knew that I'd put out everything I could because I'd just leave it all out there on the field. So I knew whatever team would get me would be getting a hell of a guy, hell of an athlete, guy that works hard, all that stuff. But it's just the unknown. There's 32 different cities you can go to at this point, 32 different teams. So I'm kind of sitting there like, fuck, I don't know.
I don't think you're grasping. For me, grasping this, like, you're an Australian kid. For me, this is nuts. You're just an Australian kid for Q who decided to play the game. Now you're playing at the top level, the 1% of the 1%. So for you, in your mind, you knew you were going to get drafted. Like, you knew that. Even how you're talking, like, you knew that, which is crazy because no other Australian has gone as high as you. 63, correct? 63? 63. No other Australian. So for you, you made history. You paved the way for everyone. Yeah. But in your mind, the way you're talking, you knew you were going to get drafted because you visualized it.
I knew I was going to get drafted. I just didn't know where. Coming off the injury, as I was saying, I played 6 games my senior year. Fucking was having a hell of a year. Whatever happened would have happened, but everything happens for a reason. So that's how I took it. Law of positivity. I said, this injury happened at the right time, and I'm going to go to the right place because of it. So
it's getting up to like past 60,
draft
right?
Night.
Draft night, right? We're going well here. We're going well. Draft night, right? So 60. So you're waiting for your name to be called out, right?
Yeah.
I want you to tell us. I can only imagine the fucking feeling you had when they called out your name, 63 Adam Gotsis. How'd you feel? What was the emotion?
Yeah, so the plan was, I think the draft's over like 3 days. So Friday night.
It's over 3 days.
Yeah, it's 250 picks.
Fuck.
250?
Yeah. So
just to understand, the first pick's the best pick.
Yeah.
That's a gun.
Yeah.
Okay. So 63 is very good.
Yeah, so
Because you know when you told me, we get boys here who like go one, but the draft's only like 80 kids.
Yeah, no,
yours is 250.
I think 255. Yeah.
255.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there.
So like,
in
pretty
Atlanta.
good by you, eh?
Yeah, it's all right.
From yourself on, mate.
Did you get called out the first night then?
No, second night.
No,
Second night.
Yeah,
Because you're a second round draft pick, yeah?
Yeah. So I'm I think the first night's the first round, and then they do 2 and 3 the next night, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 or something the next night. So first night, I'm like, I'm probably not going the first round, so kind of
calm
just
down,
watching it.
relax.
Yeah, and the plan. I think they might do first and second in the first night. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, look, I had all my siblings over, so my brother, my sister.
Why wasn't your mum there, bro?
Working, mum and
Fuck,
dad.
man,
Yeah,
shit.
it was. So they came over to visit me. My cousin was there, and then I just had close mates, man. I had 4 or 5 mates over.
Oh, okay, six.
So we're all in my apartment. We're sitting there, and we're like, look, if I go, I go. If I don't, we'll have a couple beers and head out. Head out for the night. So we're sitting there. I'm just sipping a couple beers, just hanging out with the guys, the family and shit. And
Where were you? Sorry, you were in
Atlanta.
So you're in your
in an apartment there that I had.
Okay.
And yeah, man, the phone rings and the Panthers are up to pick. And the Panthers and the Broncos just played in the Super Bowl. So my sisters were big Cam Newton fans. So they're thinking I'm going to the Panthers, but it's a Denver number calling me. Denver's got the next pick. So they call me. They're saying, we're going to take you with the next pick.
Wait, they called you beforehand?
Yeah, they call you before.
Oh.
They tell you.
Why
we're
did
gonna
they?
I wish they didn't though, bro, because I want your natural reaction to be nuts, hey?
No, but while you're on the phone, the TV's going, it's counting down.
Oh,
And
okay,
then-
yeah. So, how'd you
So
feel?
then, man.
Did you cry?
How'd you answer the phone?
I think I cried a bit later.
I
that
fucking
evening.
hope you cry, man.
But
Jesus.
I was just more ecstatic,
Yeah,
Get the call, John Elway on the phone.
Who's John Elway?
He was the GM.
He's the main.
He's a Hall of Famer with the Broncos.
You
He
didn't
is
know
one of the
that.
Yeah, well, think quarterback.
Yeah.
John. That guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. You can see how much I understand about the game.
Yeah, he calls me, tells me they want me, all that stuff. And yeah, next minute, my name's popping up on the TV screen. And
Let me guess.
unreal,
Your
man.
mum called you straight away.
Yeah.
Was she yelling?
She was excited, man. She was
Jesus.
excited. But I'm on the phone to Denver now for the next hour. So
Hour?
I'm flying out the next day to
Wait,
Denver.
why were you on the phone for an hour to them?
So they draft you. The next day, you're flying out to Denver to do press.
The next day?
Do press conferences, all that shit. So
So they're wording you up to
yeah.
what to...
So
okay.
I'm sitting there in Atlanta. I just had the ACL. I've just had the pick line. So I've lost probably like 20 pounds from the season before. So I'm like, fuck, I got to fly to Denver. None of my suits fit me.
Oh, shit.
Here come the sisters in, fucking tailoring my suit so it fits.
Jesus Christ. Really?
Yeah, at like 2 a.m. in the morning, they're tailoring my suit,
Oh, shit.
get my suit ready. And then, I'm on a plane the next day out to Denver, fly out to Denver, snow everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck? Where am I? Middle of America, Midwest, where am I? Check out the facilities, all that stuff for a day, fly back, back to Atlanta, back to training.
When did you sign the contract?
So then I signed it when I went out there. That's when. So you go out there, you sign the contract, you do the media, all the press, all that stuff.
But this is serious. Like, the money that you've got, man, that's like for the rest of your life and your kid's life, and you can set your whole family up. You know what I mean? Like, that's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
And you deserve every penny of it.
Yeah, definitely. You can set your family up, or you can fuck it up and.
No.
not
I
set your
agree.
family.
But but for your boys, this is what I'm looking for. Your boys,
Yeah.
I know you're not going to hand anything to your boys. I know that they're going to work for it. But at the same time, man, that's money that people need to understand. That's money for that's changed your life money, man.
Yeah, changed my life, changed my family's life.
Good on you, man. Good on you.
And,
I hope to God you bought your mother something good.
yeah, I've helped her out a fair bit.
I'd fucking hope so. Jesus, fuck.
Yeah, no, she's been unreal.
Man, great, man.
But
when you signed it, were you like, this is nuts? Like
yeah, that was pretty nutty.
Because you and I have talked about
It
this
was
before,
pretty
but like we've
nutty.
talked about like your teammates
Yeah.
getting like 700,000 checks and you're
yeah.
nuts.
It's pretty nutty. But for me, it was like I didn't get none of my money when I signed because I was I didn't have a social security.
Shit.
None of that shit. I didn't even have a US driver's license at this
So
point.
what happened then?
So basically all my money was just like on hold until I got all this stuff done.
That's actually
so
all right,
it was
though.
actually pretty good.
Did it accumulate? It just accumulated?
Yeah, so all my signing bonus and stuff was kind of sitting there. They couldn't pay me out because I had no tax file number to file.
No, you can't.
Over there in the
you
States,
can't.
all that stuff. So had to do all that shit. Had to change over my visa status from student to work visa, all that stuff before they could start paying me. And to do that, you need like contract of employment, all that type of stuff. So
Because you're an independent contractor.
yeah. So then got all that stuff, started getting paid, which was good.
Why
And
did you
then
get
here's the season.
a signing bonus is when you sign?
Yeah, so that's just part of it. So I think that's the way they can formulate in terms of like the cap space. They give you a signing bonus. It's guaranteed money. It doesn't count against the cap. So then now it's just your contracts that's counting against your cap. But the way the draft works is at 63, I'm not going to get more than 62, and I'm not going to get less than 64. So everything's slotted in terms of the money you're making.
Isn't it on positions as well? Like I'll give you punters make between 1 to 2 million.
Yeah, but that's once you get into free agency after your rookie contracts. So your rookie contract, once you come through the draft, everything's slotted. Like the second pick's not going to make more than the first.
Oh, I get
You know what I'm
So
saying?
it's actually everyone knows what you're on.
Yeah, everyone knows what you're on. It's all public information.
If you don't mind me asking, what were you on your first year?
So my first contract, I think it was 5.1 million.
Oh
signed
my
for 4 years.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah, for 4 years.
Oh, just a lazy 5 million. Imagine me in Vegas, what I'd do with 5 million.
$1 million signing.
I don't want to think
bonus.
about that.
$1 million?
Yeah.
So wait.
But you lose half of that to taxes.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So my contract really after taxes is 2.5 million for 4 years.
Yeah, but still, it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but in this realm of the NFL, there are guys making 50 million on 1 year.
Yep.
So
What did you do with your... Okay, so your first time you get paid, what did you... Like, what was the first thing you bought? The biggest thing you bought?
fucking Ford Explorer car. I was like, I need to get to work.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just buy a solid car that's going to get me to work, nothing fancy.
Did you get your license by this point?
Yeah. I had to go sit the driver's test.
What does the number one draft pick make? How much they make?
They're probably about a 16 million. 16 million, probably 11 million in signing bonus, and then the
Is
other
that
five
spread across 4 years though, or is
the
that
other 5 will be spread across the years, but they'll get that 16 mil, like the 10 million at signing.
Yeah.
Wait, what was your sign-on bonus? 1 mil.
million.
So, okay, I'm trying to understand this. So that once it's past the first year, that's your rookie, then you decide your contract.
So basically, my rookie year, I think it was 700,000 was my rookie year.
Yeah.
Half of taxes, so I'm pocketing probably 400,000.
Okay, yeah.
The next year,
Shit, you pay a lot of tax, bro.
Yeah, because you're in that top bracket now. So now the next year it'll be like 750.
Oh, shit.
The next year's 850.
Yeah.
The next year was 950.
Oh, I get what you're saying, yeah. But
So-
when you're in free agency, which you're in, you have an agent decide.
Yeah, you can negotiate.
Did you negotiate?
I'm still a free agent right now. I haven't signed with Jacksonville yet.
No, but you're going to sign.
Yeah, I'm hoping to.
Hold on, law of attraction.
Exactly.
You're going to sign.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's
Well, you're doing really well. So
yeah.
No?
So get through the rookie. So now I'm a rookie. Get to Denver, man. I'm still off the ACL, and it was tough, man. I think completing your rehab at 2 different places is kind of hard. I was about 4 months into my rehab. Now I'm getting sent over to Denver, and their job's to pick up the rest of the rehab. The tough part is the college system, when they're rehabbing ACLs and stuff, they're aggressive, but they're probably not as aggressive as the pros. You also don't have the resources financially in college to go get that extra body work, to go do that extra stuff. So the structure that I was on for my recovery was probably a 10 to 12 month program. So I was about 4 or 5 months in. Now I'm going to Denver, and Denver's like, we need you ready in 2 months.
2 months?
They wanted me playing straight away.
2 months? So it's
Yeah.
a 6 month ACL rehab?
So basically,
No.
like 7.5 months.
Oh, fuck.
I was out there in training camp,
Jesus.
and
Were you nervous to get back with the knee?
yeah, I wasn't ready to be out
No
there.
way, bro.
I wasn't ready. At that point, I wasn't ready.
No. But you got through.
But when you're getting paid to be there,
Bro, you have to.
You got to play. So,
bro, you know what? Touch wood, you didn't do it again, man.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Well, I did tear my ACL again.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, but I played. Going on that, I played 4 years. My whole rookie contract, I played in a knee brace.
You don't
Because I never rehabbed it from the start.
Look at your muscles around your core, your knee. The muscles are supposed to stabilize the knee. In my opinion, more athletes need to try conservative management, which you have. You proved it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that, but there we go.
It was hard. So my whole first rookie year, I'm battling the knee, let alone adjusting to the game, which is different to the college game.
Very different.
So it was a lot, man. And to be there by yourself now, away from your friends and family, kind of back in Atlanta that I was with, I'm in a different time zone. I'm now in a locker room with guys that have families, wives, things like that. And I'm kind of just by myself. And it was a hard time, man. It
Really?
was.
Wait, so you really struggled mentally for it?
Yeah.
So
I felt like I just had no one in my corner, no one in my circle. The pressure from the organization, the type of feedback I was getting within the organization wasn't really co-aligning with how I viewed things. That was kind of hard.
What you've told me about, and this is nothing against their organization, but what you've kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, what you've told me about the Broncos, and this is nothing against them, I just want to clearly state that, but it was kind of a little bit negative where Jags is very positive. That's what I'm kind of getting across.
Yeah, and it was tough because they just came off a Super Bowl. So they're wanting to go back to the Super Bowl.
The expectations
The
are
expectations are high.
Do you feel like they pushed you very hard?
Well, they drafted me for a reason. They drafted me to play. They didn't draft me to sit there.
Yeah, but hold on, bro. Hold on a second. You weren't ready.
I wasn't ready.
But
for me, I didn't know how to communicate that.
Yeah, but you were young. It's not your fault,
and
mate.
I think that's where the relationship with my agent kind of should have been better.
Better.
And that's kind of what steered me from leaving that agency was I didn't feel like if I needed support from anyone, I felt like my agent should have been reaching out to me more to be like, how are things? How's the knee? How's this? Checking in with me.
They didn't.
That wasn't happening. So then that hurt with my communication, how to talk to the team. Going into the training room, you're talking to these doctors knowing they're going upstairs and talking to the GM, talking to the coaches. So if I'm in there complaining,
you don't do that.
They're going to say this guy's a turd.
Fuck him off.
Yeah. We've paid him this money. If he doesn't want to, but that's not the case at all.
I'm really worried. Like I was hearing you say that you were very mentally struggling. I didn't know that, man.
Yeah. So I was going through it, man, for about a good 3 years, man.
Did you talk to anyone about it? Like, did you actually talk to?
Didn't have anyone, man.
So you really felt isolated.
Yeah, and I felt like I didn't want to show my mum and show my family that I wasn't doing well.
Why? Bro, they're still proud of you either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just hard. And
but you still can talk to people.
But at that point,
I know you're a young kid, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? For you, man, like it's all your journey, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't know, man. I didn't know that, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It was hard. And then kind of went through that. It was tough.
Yeah.
And then got to my last year, battling injuries.
just tough.
I didn't realise how hard you had it.
Yeah, going through it.
So were you really struggling with injuries and the mental health side of it?
The mental health side.
Did you even did you care about playing, bro?
Definitely lost the passion.
Fuck, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Were you worried? Fuck, man. First of all, thanks for talking about this. It's very important.
That's
to talk
amazing.
About. I talk about this all the time. It's actually very important to talk about this. So, very good to talk about. But did you, your last year, did they delist you or did you? How did it work?
No, I ended up getting hurt again. So
knee.
Yeah, tore the same ACL with a knee brace.
So now,
still tore the ACL.
I'm starting to understand why. Now I'm starting to understand your mental state would have been fucked.
Well, yeah. So my third year, man, in the game, felt a big shift in my knee on a play.
Just
when
from
when I got MRI'd, I don't think I got the honest opinion from what the MRI was telling me.
What do you mean? They just...
So the doctors came out and, you obviously team MRIs, the team gives you the results. And, from what they told me, it was, I got a partial tear in my ACL, just some light fraying of the ACL, the graft.
It was fully torn.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Pretty much.
If you knew.
I was able to still play. And this was probably like week 10 of the season, so there were 6 games left.
Were you playing well?
I was playing all right.
So
I was playing all right, and then that happened, and then the last 3-4 games of the season, I actually had pretty good games. So I was like, "Fuck, maybe it's not as bad as what you thought. I thought. Maybe it's not as tall. Maybe it is just like some light fraying in the ACL." So kind of get through the rest of that season, go into the off season, and I'm like, get to like week 13 through the season, tear the ACL in the game, like 4th play of the game, play out the rest of the game, go get another MRI, but this time, I got 2 copies of the MRI. I sent one to my doctor, I sent one to the team. I want a second opinion.
No, it's fair enough.
And now I'm becoming a bit more aware of like how much of a business
it's a business,
the NFL is. It's a bit different from the college mentality. So you really got to take care of yourself. So when I got the second opinion, one team's telling me it's not torn. Other doc's saying I can't even see your ACL.
Fuck.
So then I bring that back to the Broncos, and they're like, "Yeah, your ACL is torn."
So then they fucking tell you.
So then,
how angry were you?
Yeah.
But what can you do? Nothing.
I'm on my last year of my contract. I'm not burning bridges. I'm not doing none of that. So I'm all in with. Hey, if that's my employer, man, I'm working for you guys. But
that's the wrong way of doing it, mate. That's the wrong way of doing it.
I just didn't have those, like, it was just, we just didn't have the relationships there.
Think about this, right? I want you to think about this, right? You got two sons, right? Let's say that happened to your son, right? How would you feel? Be serious.
Yeah, dirty.
Dirty. Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. When you, but for you, you kind of sound like not. Do you kind of feel like you were used back then? You kind of seem to me that you're giving it would have felt
in a
that
way because I'd seen, the year after I got drafted, we drafted another guy off an ACL, and they'd given him 10 months, 11 months. They put him on injured reserve and bring him back when he was ready.
What number did he go, though?
I think he was 2nd, 3rd round.
Okay. So why they push you and not him? So it's weird. It's always different.
Did you ever
They wanted me to play.
Did you ever feel connected at Broncos?
I will say my 2nd and 3rd year, we bring in a veteran free agent, Domitar Peko. He'd played in the league for 13 years or so at that point.
13 years?
Yeah, so he was an older vet.
Good guy?
Really good dude. Samoan bloke. Really good bloke. Me and him were fucking...
So it helps you with your mental state.
And that changed my mental... That helped me with my mental. After 2 years, he was gone. So, but at this point, I'm year 4 now, so I'm a bit better and understand it. But up until then, I didn't really have support on the team because it's such you're independent contractors.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah, and guys are going home to their families. It's not as social as college. You're not living.
And
in
you didn't have
didn't have the relationship probably that I needed to have with the training staff at that point. My trust in the training staff probably wasn't there.
You probably had to leave there,
Things
man.
like that.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like my passion wasn't there. I fell out of love with the game there because they didn't love me how I thought they would.
No, but you got to remember though.
But they don't know it to me, and that's the thing I didn't realize. They don't know that to me.
But do you want to? You're a very person who your family. Think about how you're brought up, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't align with your values.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really be there, could you?
And that's what hurt me.
It hurt you.
Our values weren't lining up, and what they needed from me, I couldn't give because of what's happened and stuff. So, end up tearing my ACL the second time, go through that, and going into free agency. Then I was like,
nah,
I just want to rehab at a place not associated with the team, not one of these big facilities where teams are reaching out to them and trying to find information.
Who'd you rehab with?
So I went to this place called Next Level Performance out in Colorado.
Next Level Performance.
Yeah, and
Next Level.
One of the guys there, TJ, still one of my really good buddies. Man, he fucking took me under his wing and was just like, whatever time you need in here, bro, I got you. Whether you want 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it is, I'll block it off on my schedule, get you in, whatever you need, man. You tell me, I'm yours.
I love that.
And
that's
man,
awesome.
Next Level Performance Center.
Yeah. So went there and man, it was night and day. It was a breath of fresh air. It was being at a place where I could come do my rehab, knowing the doctors aren't going upstairs talking to the GMs, saying whatever they want behind closed doors, and then telling you another thing to your face. So I was able to just go in there and be me.
Yeah.
The values started lining up.
It's 4670 Table Mountain Drive?
Yeah, probably.
Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado. I think
We'll
they just
bleep that
changed
out.
location.
Colorado. Yeah, I'll follow them. There we go.
But yeah, went there, man, and the approach to the rehab on this ACL was fucking night and day, man.
Yeah.
Night and day.
Yeah.
Like the care, the fucking, you know, when I was in the league getting treatment for my ACL, I'd get 10 minutes of soft tissue and then and then 10 minutes on the bike and it's get ready for rehab.
That's fucked.
At this next place, man, he'd have me on the table for 45 minutes, loosen everything up, then get into the prep stuff, then get into my rehab. So I'm there for 3 hours. My rehab at the Broncos, and because some of it's time restricted, because the NFL, you can only have guys there for certain, you know, an hour here, an hour there.
Yeah.
They can't give you that 3 hour block, you know, and that's where like the benefits of being like on injured reserve would help, because then you're not doing all the shit on the field. You'll kind of have that more time. Yeah, that's what I needed. So when I went to this place, man, I had that investment.
Do you know what you needed, bro? I'll tell you what you needed. You needed a bit of love. I'm being serious. You were fucked, and you needed you were struggling with your body. You needed someone. This guy's done a good job with you, because you needed someone to actually give a fuck. Because I really feel like that what you're telling me. As a coach, you really didn't get that love at the Broncos. Nothing against them once again, but this guy's obviously helped you get your body back.
Yeah, it was.
What was his name?
TJ.
Shout out to TJ, brah.
Yeah,
he's obviously all right, man.
Still comes and supports me. Still works on me. Still.
Is he a strength and conditioning? He's obviously a sensei of rehab.
He's big into like the powerlifting and stuff, but
he's a rehab guy as well. Okay, sweet.
So he does a lot of that stuff, and then another dude, Joel, that he's out in Colorado as well.
Yeah.
Big shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
He was coming to the house 2-3 times a week working on me. And then another lady, Jackie, was like acupuncture cupping, was working on me too.
Oh, so you got the tissue quality, you've got fucking rehab, everything.
And that's part of like, now when I'm saying I got the resources, I didn't have that early on in college, because I hadn't signed in the draft or anything. So Georgia Tech's not doing all that shit. You know, they'll do a little bit, but they're not doing that. So now I've got the resources to outsource and get these people around me that are good, have my intentions at fucking heart, and just want to get me back on to my peak performance. You know, not just getting me on the field at 80% to say, yeah, we checked the box, he's on the field.
That's what they do. Yeah,
our hands are off, our hands are clean. If he gets hurt now, it's on him. They're getting me back to where I need to be. And man, second ACL, no knee brace, came back in 6 months, better than ever, man.
Nice.
And you felt confident on the field.
Better than ever. And then get signed with Jacksonville that year, and rest is history, man. Haven't been injured since.
Nice.
I know we've been a long time. How long have you gone for?
An hour 37.
Oh, that's not too bad then, actually. But
I've got to leave in 10 minutes.
yeah, that's fine. Wait. Just tell me just quickly, at the time at Jacksonville, have you loved it? Tell us
Loved it, man.
What? Hold on.
Family, community.
Let's talk about your missus and you know your family just quickly. So you met your beautiful missus. Explain how you two met.
Yeah, fortunately, both of us just in the same city for a lot of reasons, and stumbled across each other on social media, and
Who hit who?
we decided.
Wait, who who was the first one to make a move?
I think initially it might have been her.
Oh, really?
But
Shit.
Nah.
Shit.
I think I liked a couple pictures and
I can imagine.
played a bit of that like tag.
And then she's checking fuckies like the couple.
Yeah, and then I think I mustered up some courage to try and organise something with her, and she was like, if you want to meet me at this coffee shop. So we went down, grabbed a coffee, and
How long have you two been together for?
probably about a year and a bit now.
Yeah, it's going well, obviously.
Yeah, it's going awesome.
He talks. Should hear how he talks about you.
She's amazing. Man. She's amazing, and she's changed my thought process, the way I view things, and really just made me a hell of a guy now. You know, she's changed the way I approach the world, life, the way everything, man.
Jesus
Love.
Christ, I'm meant to cry now.
That's
I don't know about
awesome.
you. Jesus, but, you're making her cry now. I think that's beautiful, man. Honestly, the way he talks about you, honestly, you see, you're a lot more. You already had self-awareness, but like even more now, you're so in tune with yourself. I don't know if you know that. Like when you talk, I think you've got two sons. What are your sons' names?
Yeah, Ilias and Cassius.
And I remember my old man told me, I said, what's it like when you have kids? He said, it changes your life. I'm guessing it changed your life.
It did, man. It did. I had, had my first son right before COVID, rehabbing the ACL. So it kind of worked out nice. I got to spend a lot of time with him.
Yeah.
Because we're all going through that. And also that COVID lockdown, man, all I could do was rehab and spend time with my kids, man.
Yeah.
That's what made me happy. And then next year I had my second son. And then, went down to Jacksonville, was down in Jacksonville, and I met this pretty lady, and went out for coffee, and then we ended up going to an alligator park.
A what?
Alligator
A
park.
what?
Alligator park.
What's this? A gator park?
Yeah.
Shit.
No, gator
Gators.
park.
So there's alligators in there.
It's a fucking giant park with huge alligators.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
That's
And what do you do?
fucked.
Just fucking stare at him? Just let him.
yeah.
Wait,
went
that was
down
your
there.
first date, bro.
Yeah.
That's pimp.
Yeah.
That's fucking
That's
sick.
pimp.
Yeah,
Oh, so
Florida's-
wait, you met
Florida's-
at a coffee shop, and then you're like, let's go check this.
Yeah, we're like, let's go do something fun that we haven't done. And decided to take a drive like 45 minutes up to this alligator park, hang out for the day. Come back. And we just always try and find something fun and exciting to do, you know, other than like the typical like movie dates and stuff.
Yeah,
We're always
yeah,
looking
yeah.
for something. So, it's awesome, man. And yeah, she's changed my life. So it's
Beautiful.
amazing.
So
That's
when I'm going to put the pressure on you, when are you going to propose to her then?
Oh my God.
Come on, bro.
And that's been a
yeah,
secret.
no, it's
Oi, can I ask
it's
you-
in the works.
Can I
It's
ask
in
you a
the
question?
works, man.
As Greek boys, when you marry your woman, right? Is there a special ceremony you guys have to have?
Well, it depends if you want to follow it.
Yeah, well, firstly, I will say she just met my grandma when she came here.
Yeah.
Met my yaya.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
And the
cool.
first thing my yaya says is she Greek?
Yeah, bro. Every time, you know, it's,
Wait, really? Is that what your yaya said?
she'll still ask you that question. She'll
Yeah.
like, it'll be 5 years down the track, and she'll be like, "Are you Greek?" And you'll be like, "No, I'm not Greek."
Why? It's because she just wants.
It's just fucking
They look-
culture.
yeah, it's culture, man.
Oh, is that the first thing she asked?
First thing she's looks
Now, you
at
just
her
have to
and she
learn
goes,
Greek.
Is she Greek? I'm like, nah, I'm American. She goes,
Okay.
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 But nah, man, it's been awesome, man. My time in Jacksonville, I got down there. I think,
Duval.
yeah, Duval.
Duval.
I think
Duval.
What's Duval?
Can I say
Duval
for everyone out there, my favourite player is Trevor Lawrence. Apart from Gotsis, Trevor Lawrence.
that's it, legend.
Oi, get him to message me something, man. I'll love you if you do. He's my boy. I love
All
the
right, I
guy.
gotcha.
Oh, mate, I'll lose
I
it.
gotcha.
I'll lose it. Yeah, you know, keep going.
But
Sorry.
finish up my rehab,
Yeah.
and after that 6-month period, I got signed in Jacksonville August. So from January to August, I'm at this place, I'm rehabbing. My whole mindset's now changed. I've got my circle around me of people that are there for me.
Yeah.
I know who's really
Who's
in my
there for you,
who's
yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
genuine, who wants me to succeed. And man, went down to Jacksonville, whole new mindset.
And dominated.
And I think like coming into that team now, with my mindset, with the knowledge I have, the shit that I've been through, I know it can't be worse than that. So
one game away from the Super Bowl.
yeah. So get down to Jacksonville my first year, we win one game, lost 15 straight after.
Shit,
Won
how
the
was
first
that?
game of the year,
But you're
lost
still
15
mentally
straight.
pretty good.
But for me, I'm now playing football, knee brace free, loving the
Feel
game.
good.
Yeah.
Feel good, fucking, loving it.
And this year, this is your second year? Third year.
Second year, we won 2 games.
And this year you won.
This year, we won 10.
What do you put it down to, the change?
Coaching was big. Coaching was huge. Developing the culture within the team is huge. I think our coach that we had this year, Coach Peterson, man, he really put it on us as leaders to establish what the culture is going to be. I think getting the right guys in those positions as well, and then letting the team kind of form its identity. I think you can kind of preach an identity you want the team to form.
Yep.
But you got to let this like mechanism form itself, in a way. And for us, our first 6-7 games of the year, we had won a couple, lost 4 or something straight. But the issue was we just weren't able to finish games. And whether that was something we were doing in practice, whether that was just, little attention to details at critical times in the game, things like that. And I think it got to a point in the season where us as players started taking ownership of it. The coaches recognized that, and they said, instead of piling more shit on their plates and saying, you guys need to work harder, you need to study more, you need to get in the weight room more, we need to put 10 more plays in, shit like that, they kind of backed off and were just like, let's simplify what we're doing on the field and just play hard and fast.
Simple.
Simple.
Don't complicate it.
There you go.
And the guys took ownership of it. We realized it's about us. It's about what we're doing, right now in these moments, in these days, in these opportunities. You're only on the field 2 hours a day. The rest of the time you're in the classroom.
And learning.
That 2 hours, we got to make it mistake-free, error-free. We can't afford to have little mistakes. it's good to make him in practice so you're not making him in the games. But we got to dial it in. Guys got to take the ownership on themselves. The coach can tell you, you got to study more, you got to do that. But again, you got to do it.
It's player-led as well, don't you reckon?
Player-led. And then once that started happening, man,
You change.
before the game and shit, it's just us getting each other ready. The coaches aren't in there. The coach comes in, he goes, I can tell you boys are ready, let's fucking go.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, shit.
That's all it is.
How, just quickly, how you found your time in Australia so far?
It's been unreal, man.
Yeah.
Unreal to be back, finally being able to bring my kids back post-COVID.
Yep. Bring
the
your
missus
lovely?
back. Yeah, bring the missus back and
Yep.
show her a bit of where I grew up. And, you know, for me, coming back this time, I think I finally get a bit more, like, I don't know what to call it, but
Perspective?
Yeah.
perspective of where I've come from, man.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah,
walking
wow.
back in my house, that I grew up in.
Perspective.
My grandma's across the street still, where she she's lived there my whole life. So she's lived.
Your
across the
yaya?
street. Yeah, my yaya.
Oh, my God.
Man, just to go see her, show my grandkids to her.
The special
Have
thing.
all the family together, stuff like that. It's really put in perspective what I've done, the stuff that I've done, how I've changed my family's life, how I'm going to keep continuing my family's life, and exposing my kids to the life that I grew up with, and getting them to, it's crazy right now in my house. I'm sleeping in my parents' old bedroom, and my son's sleeping in my bedroom. It's wild.
Crazy,
man.
eh?
It's wild.
Life, though, eh? It's life. It's life. It's a beautiful thing.
And, there's just so much more ahead, and it's just living in the now, living in the present. Taking advantage of the present, because right now, man, what you're doing right now, that becomes your past. So it's focusing on the now, man, because you can look in the past and try and learn from that, but all that shit happened in the now.
Yeah.
That shit all happened right now. So what you're doing right now is so important. You can look forward and have an idea where you want to go, but it's what you're doing with your minutes
live in that, be
throughout the
present.
day. You've got 24 hours in the day. What are you going to do with it, And for me, having these kids, it fucking made it. It's football. It's spending that quality time with my kids, because I could come home from work, I'm dead tired, and I could say, you know what? Go do your thing, kids. I'm going to sit on the couch, but it's about getting up off the couch, spending those moments with them, because those moments go by so quick, enjoying them, getting them around me in my environment, letting them see me work, bringing them into, I wish I could bring them in here to work out, but they're down for their naps.
Yeah, they're naps.
Gotta
They're
sleep
naps.
before they.
Dude, otherwise it's me dealing with two crazy kids when I get home. So, they're going to have their nap. But, nah, man, it changed my perspective having kids, and it made everything that I've been doing, man, it's for me and my family, and now it's for my kids.
Correct.
And
That's their extension of you,
yeah,
man.
and I'm leaving this legacy for them.
Legacy.
And I'm just trying to represent them the way my parents represented me, and
Still
give
the
them-
values that
exactly,
you
man, and to have them spend this time with my dad and my mum and
It's
my
pretty
sisters
special.
and stuff,
Yeah.
man, it's unreal. And these are moments that I'm never going to forget. The good, the bad, and stuff that comes with work and football and stuff. There are good moments and memories in that, but the moments with your family and the kids and the people that you love, and the people that have supported you and been there through all the shit, they're the ones that really you got to share it with. And
I heard a quote once. A true friend is someone who walks in when the rest of the world works out.
I
Yeah.
love that.
And that is so
Nice,
true,
yeah.
isn't it?
it is, man.
It's
It
true.
is.
Yeah.
And last night I caught up with one of my best mates, and
He's Melbourne boy.
yeah, Melbourne dude. And to see the success he's even had in his career now, he's just opened a barber shop and running a
Sick.
barber shop with his.
Oh, where
missus.
at? Where's his barber shop?
Called the Rusty Blade. It's in Kew.
Oi, Rusty Blade
Yeah.
in Q. Shout out. We'll tag them.
Just on High Street.
Boom.
Man, get down there.
Shit,
man.
I'll go down there.
support.
Rusty
Yeah.
Blade, eh? You got to
Rusty
support
Blade.
your mates.
Yeah, man, go down, support, man. This guy's worked his ass off to get in this.
Good on him,
position.
man. That's
And,
great.
That inspires me, man. He's been one of my best mates since 5th grade.
So you still talk to him all the time?
all the time. He's come and visited me in the States.
Oh, what a
He's come
ledge.
spend time
Was he
with
from
me.
Q High as well?
Went to Q High
Oh,
with
shit.
him.
So you've gone through it. Yeah.
Man.
So you're still mates with all these guys.
Yeah, man.
Incredible.
Got a big group that, we've been tight since. I've had a bunch of friends from back home come visit me, and
Yeah. Fantastic.
it's about not forgetting your roots, not forgetting where
Correct.
you come from and shit
Humble.
like that. And man, for me to come home and just be able to enjoy a beer last night with this guy and share some of the stories with the missus, I love this. It's just fun, and it's really just changed me, and I just feel like, man, everything full circle, of good, bad, in between, and the man that I am today is just an extension of all these people that have impacted me, and whether it's a little bit or a lot, it's helped me mold the human I am today. And
yeah, wow,
I just
brilliant, man.
Can't be more thankful.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
One more question. We deal with so many guys that want to, go play professional sport, and I have a punter right now who wants to get over there. What's your advice? Like, because the scarcity, like we said, the scarcity of what you're doing is so fucking rare.
Yeah.
But it's possible. You've made it possible.
Yeah,
what's advice?
Man, you gotta realize that you have to chase the dream, man. No matter what it is, don't stop chasing it. You're gonna come to so many blockades and things stepping in your way. For me, it was getting through the clearinghouse, establishing a connection of sort, trying to figure out something, some way, whether it's, you hit that wall and you're like, fuck, I got to figure out how to get around this. You might need to take 10 steps back and go a whole nother path around. You might need to, go to the left instead of going to the right. And then there's another block, but the end vision of where you want to be doesn't change. You got to look at what you're doing. Is everything you're doing pointing towards where you want to be? Are you sacrificing now for the later? And for me, that's what it was. It was sacrificing the nights with the boys. There were so many nights in high school where I wanted to go out to the parties, but I knew, like, if I do that, there's no way I'm getting up in the morning and giving it what I need to get to where I need to be. And that's not only unfair to me and my dreams, but it's unfair to my mum, who's putting so much into it, my dad, who's putting so much into it,
All these people support you.
All these people, the nights out are going to be there. The mates are going to be there, Your mates aren't just your mates when you're out having a beer. Your mates are your mates when you're going through it. Your mates are your mates when they see your vision, and they're the ones telling you, fuck it, bro, stay home. You don't need to come out,
That's a true friend.
Yeah,
they're your mates, because they're the ones that are going to push you to where you want to be when you need to, So, man, never lose sight of the dream. Always keep working your craft. Never stop working your craft.
Become a master of your craft.
Yeah. Become a master of your craft. One little detail, man. If one little thing you're struggling with, work on that. Once you master that, move on to the next thing.
Yeah, nice.
Amazing.
10,000 rep club, same shit.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, fucking hammer that. Hammer that, hammer that, hammer that. And when those opportunities come, you're prepared for it, Someone once told me, like, luck's just preparation meeting opportunity.
Yeah.
No one gets lucky.
Fuck, can we start writing down these quotes?
Johnny,
You
I'll listen to this again. I'll write them down.
You get lucky when you hit the lotto.
Yeah.
100%.
And that's luck. The guys who get the opportunity and are able to make the most of it, they're prepared for that
They
moment.
work.
If you're not prepared for the moment, you don't even see the opportunity. The opportunity comes and goes because you're not even ready for it.
Can I just say, you'd make a very good, like a motivational
Public
speaker.
speaker.
Yeah.
Fuck
You'd actually make really good, man. Listen, I just want to end on this. After you heard Adam talk, this is for anyone out there. I really honestly do believe that he deserves more media attention. So for all the media out there in Australia, it'd be good if you could get behind him. If you liked what you heard, the guy's articulate, he's smart, knows what he's doing, he talks, and he's passionate. So I think it's about time that we do get behind him in the Australian media. You were happy to get behind, what was his name? Jared Hayne. Get behind this guy. Highest ever draft pick, 7, 10, 9, whoever it is, all my contacts, get behind him because he's a great guy. He deserves a way more media exposure, way more. And he's a great guy. And he's like, that's the most important thing. He's a good dude and he deserves it. So I hope after listening to this, you get behind him more. So please reach out to him, reach out to his manager. He's always happy, like we'll put your Instagram up. But like for all my contacts or any Australian media, please get behind him because it's about time. He's been in the league for 7 years. It's about time you actually start showing him instead of and there's nothing against any other Australians who play in the league, the punters. But this guy's gone 63, highest ever draft pick. He deserves a lot more respect than what he gets, my opinion. About time you show him some respect. Just my opinion. End on that.
Love
Chris,
that.
you want to end?
That's perfect.
What a fucking awesome episode. We're going to play a lot.
Let's give him a clap. I think
Yeah.
that's a great episode.
Nah, seriously, like, guys, honestly, amazing episode. Adam, thank you so much, man. Like, even training today, just chatting with you, getting to know you, like, you're... Fuck, sport, you're a good person, man. You're a great human, man. And that's what I love that. Like, I love that we can chat, have so much transparency about you. So thank you for coming on today. Thank you for being awesome and coming to our facility. Like, we appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. It's been awesome. And, Woody, I want to take my hat off to you, man. I mean, you've been unreal and supporting me, always reaching out to me, checking in with me and stuff. Always inviting me down here, helping me out with anything, man. Always sticking your neck out. And, you're a big voice for a lot of guys, man. And
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Your passion, it doesn't go unnoticed, bro.
Yeah.
One thing I will say is, you're 100% you. And, if people love or hate you, they will respect you because you're you. And at the end of the day, that's all you can be.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I do.
Everything that you're doing, man, you're growing sport. You're growing the strength and conditioning industry here. And you're taking off, man. And it's unreal to be one of your mates.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
And,
Don't make me cry. These make me cry, right? So, fuck. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Like, I really do. So,
what you're doing for the development of athletes in this country, man, and exposing them to these different avenues and coaching and mentorship, you're doing a lot.
Thanks, man. I really do appreciate it.
Don't let it go unnoticed, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Well, it's just about time that you get noticed. So that's that's my job. So let me do that, all right? If I can get the Australian media to start interviewing you, I'm happy. I can walk away and be happy because my thing about it is, I always say this, if someone deserves it, they deserve it. And you deserve a lot more credit than what you're getting. So, Chris, wrap this up before I start crying.
AskWoodford done. Guys,
Jesus fucking Christ.
Adam, where can they find
Most
you?
emotional episode
Yeah, you
ever.
can find me on Instagram, just Adam Gotsis.
So, Adam Gotsis.
At Adam Gotsis,
Idiot.
and I think on Twitter it's at Gotsis96. So,
Love it. Love it. Spotify, Ask Woodford. On YouTube, Christian
Spotify.
Woodford. Instagram, Woodford SSC. And our website, woodfordssc.com. Thank you, guys. Can't wait to see you next time.